At Kerr Pumps, innovation powers everything we do. With over 100 patented technologies, precision CNC machining, advanced robotics, and unrivaled customer service. At Kerr Pumps. At Kerr Pumps, innovation
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, hello. Okay.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
In our community, football is more than a game. It's a tradition, a passion, and a heartbeat. At First Bank and Trust Company, we're proud to stand behind our local teams on and off the field, because we're not just a bank, we're your bank. First Bank and Trust Company, investing in our youth, one Friday night at a time. Let's go! Member FDIC.
Athletic injuries are essentially orthopedic injuries with sports-specific components. At Excel Therapy, our goal is for the athlete to return to the sport quickly. Excel Therapy can assist in speeding up recovery following surgery by improving range of motion, strength, and flexibility. At Excel Therapy, we excel at sports medicine. We excel at physical therapy. We excel at helping you excel. With clinics in Ardmore and Durant, our team excels at orthopedic injury recovery and sports medicine. Find us at exceltherapyok.com.
PayMe checking is the #1 debit card at Communication Federal. With good reason, because you earn real money rewards with your Visa debit card. With Communication Federal, you can get a fresh, shiny, new debit card at the branch same day, so you can get out there and do your thing. And get rewards for doing it. Open your PayMe checking account online at comfedcu.org or at any branch in just a few minutes. PayMe checking, only from Communication Federal Credit Union.
Start your project at Lone Grove True Value Hardware. It's more than just a hardware store. Besides quality hardware, Lone Grove True Value carries a full line of building materials and steel for all your projects. And they're the only authorized dealer for Trigger grills in this area. Plus, they have years of experience, so they can answer all your questions or offer helpful advice. Lone Grove True Value Hardware on Case Circle and Lone Grove.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
Curbside pickup from Applebee's of Ardmore is an easy way to enjoy all of your Applebee's game day favorites. Favorites like the Fiesta Lime Chicken or made-to-order burgers. And Applebee's 2 for $25 is always a winning play. Order online or via the Applebee's app. Or better yet, have Applebee's cater your game day party. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's of Ardmore. Open till midnight Sunday through Thursday and open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
welcome to the field at this time the 2025-2026 Lone Grove Thundering Herd. Please rise for the national anthem.
You are looking live at a wet and windy Longhorn Stadium here in Long Grove, Oklahoma, and it is time for the 42nd version of the 5-mile feud. Andy Dunham along with you, Sam Harris to my right. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining me. This is a monumental game. Non-district opponents, Long Grove and Plainview are, but they still find themselves playing each other every year. That's a great thing. It's a great thing for the fans on both sides. They like to know they pack out both sides. As you look over on the far side of your screen, the Plainview fans have traveled well like they always do. Sam Harris is here. I'm here, of course, and we are ready for some football, buddy.
Can't wait.
A game that you are familiar with, Sam. It is a game that, they call it the 5-mile feud because these teams reside 5 miles from each other. And it's a game that can get ugly weather-wise. Tonight we've been a part of some games. You've been a part of some games where the weather may affect the way these two teams play. We'll certainly watch that tonight, but it could also get ugly. We could also see some chippiness tonight because these two teams do not like each other, not one bit, and there's a reason they're one of the more fierce rivalries in southern Oklahoma, and we are getting ready. We are lining up. Both sides, both teams will run out.
Respect and good sportsmanship. Help the athletes to give their very best and to honor you with their effort no matter the outcome. May this be a time of fellowship and joy for all the fans and families watching. Thank you for the chance to celebrate this moment, and may your presence be with us throughout the game. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
as we get done with the prayer for both sides. That's great. And once again, Plainview, this is their season opener tonight. And unlike Long Grove has already faced an opponent this year. And unfortunately, it was a heartbreaking loss, and in a walk-off fashion, Ferris Satir from Anadarko runs it in for the 2-point conversion. Long Grove loses 36-34 and 36-35, check that. But it's a game. It's a good game for Long Grove because they can shake off this loss last week.
Yep.
And how about none other than shaking off a heartbreaking loss and facing up against your rival, Plainview?
Yeah, we got a lot of elements coming into this game. You know, of course, Lone Grove taking a loss. You know, I don't know about you, Andy, but if I lost, I would have a bad taste in my mouth and want to kind of make up for what happened. And then, you know, with Plainview, you know, this is their first game coming on. And, you know, like we said last week, you know, usually on your first game, you got a lot of rust. You know, you got to get rid of that. And, you know, we'll see if Plainview deals with that and see if that goes in the Longhorns' favor.
Well, Sam, you as a player have only lost to Plainview one time. You were 3-1 in your career. Your one loss was actually in 2022, so your junior year.
Yes, sir.
When the Horns were here at home, a 42-21 loss, and
we don't have to talk about it.
You were able to get your revenge. However, I'll get to your revenge. You were able to get your revenge in 2023, and we were actually just talking to the man who was responsible for that win in 2023, Jackson McClanahan, who will be joining us at halftime. He'll be talking to us. It's official. We're making it happen right now. We're going to make it happen right now. He's going to be talking to us.
J-Mac.
We will get the coin toss going. Captains for both teams. We will get the captains. First for the Long Grove Longhorns, it will be number 3, quarterback Tatum Quinn, number 8, Luke Stinson, number 55, Brandon Heckathorn, and number 14, Elijah Mims. Coin is up in the air.
Lone Grove football would like to thank Toyota of Ardmore for their generous contribution to our athletic programs. Mr. Jeremy Hodge.
Longhorns win
We'll go to
2 in a row.
Long Grove will win the coin toss. That's right, Sam. 2 coin tosses in a row. They have won. Last week they deferred to take the ball to start the second half.
That is what they will do this time.
Captains for the Plainview Indians will be number 2, Braxton Armstrong, and number 2, Noah Enriquez, and number 8, Bo Brewster. I was looking on the wrong roster for these two teams. So Long Grove sporting 4 captains, Plainview only sporting 2. So we get through the Elite Insurance coin toss. Expectations for this game, Sam? Early expectations? I know weather probably changed my expectations a little bit.
Yeah,
I looked at the weather when I was leaving earlier today.
No, it looks like
and
rain's about to come.
It showed a little drizzle at the 10 o'clock hour. Obviously that changed. The weather's been pushed up. The radar's coming through. We had heavy rain at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. It went away, but now it looked like we had a little bit of a drizzle, and it looks like it might start to come back as soon as we get ready for kickoff.
Yeah, we may get lucky and get to watch a little bit of some good old-fashioned smash-mouth football.
Well, the Long Grove Longhorns, they were on the receiving end of some smash-mouth football last week against Anadarko. Troy Pendarvis, Jason Kawikla, and Ferris Satir, who scored the game-winning 2-point conversion. Those 3 ran the ball a combined 32 times on the Long Grove Longhorns, and the run defense, it seemed in that second half, it seemed like the Horns might have got worn down a little bit. And with time of possession, that was in favor of the Anadarko Warriors. They outscored the Longhorns in that second half, 29-21 in the third, fourth, and overtime period. So what you want Long Grove to do, and this will be a part of the Jag Keys to the Game, Jag Fuel Keys to the Game, thank you so much for the sponsor, is control the tempo.
Of course.
So when you're out there and you're against a Plainview defense, what you want to do is try to set the tone. Now Long Grove is already handicapped this year. They will not have Chase Warden in tonight's matchup and in the further future. As you saw last week, Chase Warden went out with a lower leg injury. We found out that, unfortunately, it was a torn ACL. You know, we don't like to say those words, especially in sports, but that's what happened. And now Long Grove will be down a running back. So that means more of Kane Roberts, who had a nice impact last week.
Big step up.
And also Luke Stinson a little bit. And also you're going to see a lot more Tatum Quinn, which I think if Long Grove wants to win this game, if they want to have impact, they want to have their running quarterback run the ball, but also throw it a little bit. But with the strong winds, the winds have kind of calmed down so far, and along of the rain has calm down a little bit.
Slight
But
drizzle. But
Quinn wants to make an impact. He'll have to do it running the ball. don't
no,
you
of
think?
course. Yeah, no. I feel like I could be wrong, of course, but I really feel like this game's going to really be in Tatum Quinn's hands tonight. So we're going to need to see a really big performance out of him.
Here come the visiting Plainview Indians, who are led by a new sheriff in town. Scott Pratt is the head coach for the Plainview Indians. Pratt coming over from Idabel, nearly 30 years of experience at the high school coaching level with, as I mentioned, the recent stop being at Idabel, and he welcomes the challenge here at Plainview. He is going to get his first taste of this rivalry, and Sam, he's going to get his first taste of the Long Grove Longhorns. He has not faced the Long Grove Longhorns in his career. And after 6 seasons at Idabel, posting a 44-23 record, multiple appearances in the playoffs. And in 2024 for Idabel, it was an 8-4 record and a loss in the quarterfinals to the eventual state championship runner-up, Sulphur Bulldogs, who the Long Grove Longhorns will see later on this season to open district play. As you see that big Bevo inflatable. What's it like to run out of that thing, Sam?
I tell you what, it's like a house in there, man.
Because if I do recall, if my memory serves me correctly, and we're only getting older here, you guys used to run out of a cow pen, too.
Yes.
So you would have the cow pen, and then you would have Bruno.
Yep.
Did I call him Bevo? I'm sorry. Bruno. You run out of Bruno, and then you got the cow pen. That just caused for a lot of fun memories as you see the Longhorns running out. Great job by cameraman Jeremiah Gray, who is coordinating your camera once again. You hear the cowbells going as well? Should be a fun matchup. Yeah, fans are ready.
Fans are ready.
The fans are always ready.
Longhorns hopefully ready. Indians hopefully ready. We'll see how this game goes. I'm excited.
That will conclude our Exceptional Health pregame show. With their streamlined check-in process, your wait time is shorter than traditional hospital settings. Exceptional Community Hospital, where someone as exceptional as you deserves our care. Of course, Exceptional Community Hospital is our sponsor, a lot like all of our other sponsors who we appreciate very much. We're going to get ready for the Long Grove Baptist Church kickoff, as it will be the Plainview Indians who will get the ball first. So we will see this Plainview offense not only for the first time for us, but the first time for their fans that are sitting across and the fans that are also watching on YouTube. We like to appreciate both sides, both fan bases watching this game. We know we get a lot of viewership for this game. Plainview does not have a free live streaming service, which is great for us because they get to talk to us.
Yes, of course.
They get to listen to us.
Yes.
Of course, they can talk to us as well if they want to. I know you got a lot of your friends watching, a lot of old teammates. I know they tuned in for the Sam Harris debut last week. They're tuning in this week. Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
What's up, guys? How's Stillwater?
Yariel De La Torre, lifelong soccer player, went perfect on his extra points last week in Anadarko. Ball placed on the tee. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to need a holder for these kickoffs as the night goes on. The wind has calmed down, as you can see.
Rain is starting to pick up a little bit more than
Right,
it was.
the rain has picked up. Definitely going to impact how we see the offenses for both teams. We know Plainview, they like to throw it, they like to run it, they like to do a lot, and it's fielded
by number 4, Mr. Frankham.
At the 10-yard line, Jet Frankham, right on cue. You had talked about him in the opening, Sam. That's one of your impact players for the Plainview Indians, and he gets it across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the kid. Expect a lot out of him. I think he's a big vocal point of Plainview's offense. And, of course, Cooper Flowers, he's the quarterback for the Plainview Indians. Expect a lot out of him. Offense is run out of him, of course.
Flowers now a 3-year starter baseball player as well, and I'm sure Cooper Flowers likes to see the Longhorns. I'm sure this game has been circled on his calendar. He has had some exceptional performances for the Long Grove Longhorns, both in 2023 and 24. He has a 1-1 record. His first start was in that 2023 season. when Jackson McClanahan walked it off on the Plainview Indians in overtime with 34-28 victory. And we will see the Plainview Indians with Cooper Flowers in the shotgun position. There's a man in motion. It's Frankham, and it's a give to Jet Frankham. He'll cut it upfield, and he gets hit immediately. Caden Hartman there to make contact, and Frankham able to trudge ahead for a few extra yards and get to the 50-yard line. 11:30 already gone in this first quarter. It'll be a gain of 5 from Frankham, and that's something we're going to watch, Sam. How many times are these teams going to be running the ball tonight, especially with the weather conditions? It'll change as the game goes on.
You want to play some bets?
Yeah, let's talk about that over break. Flowers, he'll throw for the first time tonight. He's pressured. It's a screen pass, and it's dropped.
Immediately dropped. Let's see if this rain plays a factor in drop balls tonight as well.
Intended receiver was Matthew Chapa. Chapo led the team in a team high in rushing yards with 662, had 7 touchdowns in his 2024 campaign. You'll see a rotation of running backs, so you'll see Chapa, who is the incomplete receiver, intended receiver right there. You also see number 8, Bo Brewster, and you'll see a little bit of Jaden Smith as well. Smith will line up in that wide receiver position. Also, Jet Frankham will line up far side. That's Dominique Corsi that is on the bottom of your screen, who's picked up by Scout Quinn. It's Flowers who will look near side. He'll throw for Frankham. It's intercepted. Scout Quinn with the interception, and that is a costly turnover for Cooper Flowers, who's only thrown 1 interception in 2 games against Long Grove. Make that 2, and he throws to Tatum's little brother.
Scout didn't get a lot of play time last week. He must have done really, really good in practice last week, and they trust the keys, and I can see why they wanted to put him out there.
You saw the one side of the secondary for the Long Grove Longhorns got a little picked on. It was Troy Pendarvis and Napoleon Camp and Malachi Beaver, R.J. Perry. That receiving tandem, receiving core for Anadarko really gave the Horns problems, so that helps. You said, Sam, he might have had a good week in practice. He gets the starting rep right there on defense, and the Horns get the turnover. It's Tatum Quinn who's on the keeper, and he's met immediately. Bo Brewster right there, number 8, to make the tackle. A little bit of pushing and shoving after, and that didn't go well for the Horns on their first play of the game.
I'm not defending Flowers there, but I don't know if you saw, that was kind of a wobbler. I'm wondering if this rain
got behind the defense as well. He was there. If that's a better ball, that's probably a touchdown.
I'm starting to wonder if this rain's starting to become a factor in the throwing conditions already.
Wet ball. Better have a lot of towels on that sideline.
Yep. This O-line this week's really got to, or this game's really got to step up against this Plainview D-line.
Just under 10.5 to play in the first quarter. We've already had our first turnover. It's Long Grove football on offense to swing pass outside to Kane Roberts. He makes the catch, breaks 1 tackle, cannot break the 2nd tackle as he's brought down by Braden Walden. But that's a first down for the Long Grove Longhorns. First down of the game, and we really saw last week, Sam, the Long Grove offense did not have problems moving the ball. They really didn't have any problems with the turnovers. It was really just in that second half. A lot of things didn't go their way, partially with their defense being on the field most of the time. Quinn looking to the sideline. Long Grove looking to slow things down a little bit. 10:15 left in the first quarter. First quarters are brought to you by Jeff's Auto Service. Quinn will look near side, throwing. Pump fake. Now he'll throw. It's caught by Elijah Mims. One of the many senior receivers for the Horns, and Mims has his first catch.
Kane Roberts did a really good job right there picking up on that linebacker to prevent Tatum from getting hit right there, so he had time to get that ball off.
Also a good job right there by Mims getting open on that side. He saw Quinn, his other senior quarterback, trying to make way. He had a lot of grass in front of him to try to find an open receiver. He finds Mims. That was a gain of 5. Second down and 5. 10-10 left in the first quarter. Quinn with the snap. It'll be a keeper. Fakes the handoff to Roberts. Tries to get to the outside and gets belted. Noah Enriquez will get credit with the tackle. Under 10 minutes to play. Now a crucial third down for the Horns on their first offensive possession. Be interesting to see if they give Quinn a yard. It looks like they won't. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 49-yard line of Plainview. The Horns find themselves inside enemy territory. The interception from Flowers sets up this offensive drive. Let's see if the Horns can get it going. Running out wide is Roberts. It's another swing pass. It's caught, juggled, and brought down immediately. Gray Barrett, number 9, makes the play for the Plainview Indians. And just like that, the Horns cannot capitalize off the interception, and they will punt it away for the first time tonight and the first time this season, might add.
Coach Cole's not going to be happy about that one. One of the guards is supposed to pick up that blitz right there, and he did not, and left Tatum in danger considering Roberts swung out for that swing pass. That's dangerous right there.
You see Cole talking to Elijah Mims on that outside. It's very key in those kinds of plays. You want your receivers to be physical and set the tempo and try to block downfield for the running back. That's a good punt. Abel Shorter was the punter for the Horns. Back deep to receive was Jet Frankham, but he didn't even take a glance at the ball. 8:30 left. We'll take our first break and be back with more. We'll see the Plainview offense for the second time tonight.
Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know that planning ahead gives you the opportunity to select merchandise and services at today's prices and relieves your loved ones of making hasty decisions later. Harvey Douglas is the only funeral home in Ardmore offering 4 family meeting rooms with unique backdrops to personalize your experience. Their caring staff can help arrange every aspect of a beautiful funeral. Before making any decisions, visit Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory in their new facility at 2118 South Commerce in Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory. Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know that planning ahead gives you the...
We're back to action here, and the first play for the Plainview offense does not go their way.
Davion Miller right there did a really good job there. Getting in there and stopping the running back before he could go anywhere and actually getting a tackle for a loss.
And that running back for the Indians is still Matthew Chapa. Flowers, on 2 pass attempts, he has 2 incompletions, 1 going for an interception that was taken away by Scout Quinn. Here's another run up the middle. Long Grove trying to rip for the ball. Did the ball come free? The official, the white cap, says the Plainview ball carrier was down. That was Chapa once again. So a 3rd down and 9. 7:23 left in this Jeff's Auto Service first quarter. The ball is at the 18-yard line. Not the most ideal start for the Plainview offense. Led by first-year head coach Scott Pratt. It's a play-action pass. Flowers evades pressure. Now he'll roll far side. Looking down the field, he's got room to run. He's got the first down and more. And he's pushed out of bounds. Cooper Flowers, known for his arm, but he will run if he has to. He's not a run-first quarterback, not like Tatum Quinn. Quinn can throw it, but his strength is running. Flowers, like I mentioned, will not run, but he can make things happen. He made things happen right there. That was an 11-yard scramble for a first down. It's only week 1. Imagine that. It's week 1. A lot of teams playing tonight and last night have not played yet. 3 teams in the Plainview Indian District were not able to play last week. Their season openers are tonight, including the Plainview Indians. Bo Brewster on the outside gets brought down by a slew of Long Grove Longhorn defenders, number 12, Caden Hartman, and number 13, Keller Stanley. Plainview offense, they're wanting, looks like, Sam, they're wanting to establish the run a little bit. They've took some shots down the field. Obviously, one went for a long scramble by Flowers. And you see Flowers looks like he's wanting to get under center. No, he's not. He'll stay in the shotgun position with Bo Brewster to his right hit, 2 wide to the left.
Yeah, I'd expect a lot more run.
In motion, it's Frankham. They'll go the jump ball with the big man. It's Corsi, and it's caught. Dominique Corsi's tripped up by the shoelaces, but that's a first down in the red zone. That is probably their top receiver as far as production from last year. The Indians, they lose 4 wide receivers from last year's team, and Corsi, who was a freshman last year, making his name known so far in this rivalry. First down to the 19. Corsi nearly dropped the ball. It was a juggle and a nice tackle by Quinn, Scout Quinn, who's going to have his plate full tonight with the big 6'4" target. Frankham once again in motion. Low snap. It's controlled by Flowers and a handoff to Frankham, and he's brought down. Justin Bradshaw makes the tackle. Younger brother of Stetson Bradshaw.
Justin Bradshaw is going to have a good game on the defensive line and the offensive line. Justin Bradshaw had a really, really good game last week playing right guard and has now been moved to right tackle. We're going to see if that transition will be good for him.
Flowers in the shotgun position. New running back for Plainview. It's Jaden Smith, the junior. Wearing the number 3, 2 wide out to the right side now. It's still Frankham and Corsi. Slant pass caught. Frankham, touchdown, Plainview. Just like that, they draw first blood on the second offensive possession, and now Plainview looks like they're in business on offense. "16-yard pitch and catch on the 2nd down and 7. And with 5:06 left in this game, we have our first score. Henry Harlow is the kicker for the Indians. Plainview goes 82 yards. On their second offensive possession, we have a penalty flag. So this attempt by Harlow will be longer than a usual extra point.
Looks like it was a false start by Plainview.
False start even before they got set. Harlow looks set. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 is the score.
Bueno.
Here in the 5 Mile Feud, we're going to have ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. 7-0 Indians. Will take a timeout and be back after this break.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Caden Roberts back to receive the kickoff. First Baptist Church Long Grove kickoff is our sponsor this year, and we will get to watch the Plainview Indians kick it off after a pretty impressive drive set up by a long pitch and catch from Cooper Flowers to Dominique Corsi, and then a 16-yard touchdown catch. Stinson is also back there. He muffed the catch but picked it right back up and got met, so Horns already with their backs against the wall near the 10-yard line. But a 16-yard passing touchdown, Flowers to Frankham. And Scott Pratt is going to have to ask a lot of his young receiving core. As we mentioned, 4 receivers gone, 3 graduates and 1 out of the transfer portal. The one out of the transfer portal was Jet Price, who followed his father, Joe, to Garden City, Kansas, but the 3 that he loses were some pretty impactful receivers for the Plainview Indians, and they were pretty impactful for years to come. Shepard Sizemore and Hudson Hobbs, two of the main receivers that the Indians lost last year. 4:59 left in the first quarter. It's the Long Grove offense who's out for their second offensive possession. It's a quick pass far side to Elijah Mims, who does some nice work with the run after the catch, and he'll get about 6-7 yards on that play. I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that. That was on purpose. Well, this is the first time since 2009, Sam, fun fact, as we, this will be an escalade to that.
Yes, sir.
First time since 2009, the Long Grove Longhorns and Plainview Indians have faced off as non-district opponents.
That is one.
A long time ago. If you don't count last year, that's right. Last year was the first meeting since 2009. Quinn, under pressure, in trouble. He'll run off and use his speed. How about that? He's got getting away from the cop speed. And he has a first down for the Longhorns. As we mentioned in the opener, this is the 47th time in history these two teams have met. Indians have a 33-13 edge in this series, but since 2021, neither team wants to rip off consecutive wins. In 2021, it was the Horns. That was your sophomore year in a 42-34 victory. And then, of course, your junior year, the only time you lost to the Indians was 42-21 in 2022. And then in 2023, it was the overtime walk-off win. As a keeper by Quinn, nice read up the middle. And he breaks off a tackle. Tatum Quinn, we mentioned last week, we saw Quinn take some hits, and he didn't listen to a word we said because he's taking hits tonight, especially in a rivalry game.
And they expect it all night long. I feel like there's going to be a lot of option all game, and expect a lot out of Tatum here.
That was a great read right there. Yeah, Roberts was gobbled up in the backfield if he was giving the ball to him, but Quinn keeps it himself, uses his speed. Second straight run play for Quinn, 3:27 left in this Jeff's Auto Service first quarter. Now it's a give to Quinn, and he's met immediately. Copy and paste for the Indians. They have number 1 on their sights. Number 51, Baxter Hamilton, the sophomore, makes the tackle. Of course, last year, 49-7 was the score in favor of the Plainview Indians. That was the first matchup since 2009 where both teams have been non-district opponents. Of course, the Horns move into District 3A2. Plainview staying in District 3A1. Quinn looking to the sideline. Ball movement so far for the Horns hasn't been bad. First drive was stalled around midfield, and they forced a punt to the Indians. It's Quinn on the keeper, stiff arm, tries to spin away. He cannot get away. Gang tackling for the Indians. A slew of white jerseys around number 3 so far.
The trenches are really going to have to start stepping up and getting low and hook up. These Plainview Indians are really doing good on a D-line of hitting the first blow, and these Longhorns are really going to have to step it up if they want to get this ball moving.
Second straight punt for the Horns. Abel Shorter will punt. Jet Frankham is back. Frankham did not get a crack at a return the first time. He was back deep to receive. A substantially young Plainview roster that's made mostly of sophomores. But they have some key experience coming back from a disappointing first-round loss to Bristow at home a year ago. The punt is fielded near the 27-yard line by Scout Quinn. 1:40 left in this first quarter. And this first quarter's flown by so far here in Long Grove, America, Sam.
Wow, that is quick. A lot of run, though. That is why. Expect a lot more of it.
Weather seems pretty calm and content so far. Seems a little foggy out there, though. You can't tell on our amazing picture that is ran by Jeremiah Gray up top. But what I'm looking at, and it should be these windows that we're in this beautiful press box that we're in. It's good to be back in this press box as well. You're looking at the radar, Sam. What do you see from that?
I see it is going to be clear for at least another 20 to 30 minutes, hopefully. But it looks like there's another storm building up. Could hit us.
We'll be checking in with our chief meteorologist, Sam Harris. Look out, David Payne. Who's your go-to? What do you watch in need of a tornado? Is there a live stream you watch? Is there somebody on the internet you watch?
I've got my old old reliable weather bug, and if there is TV on, we go with KXI with Steve Lenore.
Okay, shameless plug for Steve Lenore. He's been at it a long time, and he usually gets busy around springtime and really around all the time in Oklahoma, the way the weather is. Jaden Smith still in the backfield. He moves from left to right on Flowers. It's a give to Smith on the outside. He has speed, but he slips. He's going to be met by either Maddox Seidelman or number 12, Caden Hartman, and both of them get to Smith as he tried to cut it back up to the middle of the field, but slipped. That's going to be another thing for these Indians. You know, at home they have the artificial turf, and we had a lot of wetness and rain and wind, and that can also be an impact on this natural grass for the team. 2nd and 12, that was a loss of 2, under a minute 30 left in this first quarter. 7-0 Plainview looking to add on to their lead.
Expect to roll that pass to the right.
Flowers with a run. It's back to Smith, and this time he gets met again by number 12 and number 4 in black for the Horns, and this time he'll get positive yardage and make it a 3rd down, and it looks like about 7. Head baseball coach of the Long Grove Longhorns, Tyler Pybus, making his debut tonight on the scoreboard, along with Jason Baxter. Got a great crew up there, and then Tyler Troop as the public address announcer helping us out.
Great group of guys right there.
Absolutely. And, of course, you got us.
We're solid.
Not bad for our one game in one quarter, as we have 38 seconds left in the first quarter of our second game as an announcing crew.
There
Flowers, there's the rollout right. He'll throw over the middle, and it's through the hands of Corsi. A little high, yes, a little high for the 6'4 target. And Flowers airmails it, 4th down, and I'd imagine Plainview's going to roll out their punt crew. And they will. 26 seconds left, the clock stops.
This Longhorn D-line has been doing a really great job of putting pressure on Flowers all night. If they can keep that up, this will be an interesting game. You know, everybody gets a one really good pass every now and then. If they can keep up that pressure and stop the run, I think we'll have a good game in our hands.
Low scoring so far, 7-0. A sky-high punt. Roberts won't touch it, and it'll take a substantial Plainview bounce.
Peter.
Near the 47-yard line. We'll take a quick break and be back and hear a word from our sponsors before we begin the second quarter.
Southern Tech, your community technology center, takes this unique opportunity to recognize all our students and alumni participating in local athletic events. We see you. You are sports announcers, videographers, trainers, band members, cheerleaders, or Pom Squad members. You are team members on the field or court, and you are avid fans in the stands. Beyond our walls, you are still Southern Tech students, and we root for you. Southern Tech, where education empowers.
Longhorns will have the ball to begin the Dave's Trailer Repair second quarter. It's Quinn with a handoff to Roberts. Evades pressure, but is brought down again. Kane Roberts has been demised substantially by these Long Grove Longhorns so far, and you have to mention that Scott Pratt watched game tape against Anadarko, and they realized that
we may need to stop this guy.
Big running back Chase Warden is not going to be an impact in this game or really for a substantial amount of time, as he's out with a knee injury, as we have another timeout. We'll keep it right here.
I'd like to brag on Roberts, though. He, a sophomore, probably wasn't expecting a lot of play time and really stepped it up for the Longhorns last game. Let's see if he can do it tonight. Hopefully his O-line will start helping him out. The thing about these Plainview Indians and their defense is they're really, really heavy on blitzing, and there's a lot to really focus on. There's so much going on. You know, there's a lot of shifting, a lot of just random blitzes from the linebackers. You know, it's hard for the O-line to pick up these things because it happens so fast and on the fly. So that's one of the things that these Longhorns in the trenches are going to be dealing with all game.
Mentioned in the opening, there's a new sheriff in town at Plainview High School. It's Scott Pratt. Once again, coming from Idabel, taking over Joe Price, who spent 10 seasons at the Plainview Indians football program and was very good. 83-36 was his all-time record at Plainview. 6-4 against Long Grove, however, in his tenure. As it's a 2nd down and 14 throw, far side, Quinn will look over the middle, and it's caught right at the sticks. That is the catch by Abel Shorter, number 7, making the play.
Abel Shorter had a really, really great game on defense last week, and starting to become a offensive weapon here.
That's a first down, and it is enough for a first down. The officials will give the Longhorns forward progress, and more importantly, the Horns are inside Plainview territory. They've only ran one play inside Plainview territory so far tonight. Quinn, another pass outside. This time, it is caught by Braxton Armstrong, and that will be a face mask. So move the ball up. That will be an automatic first down as well. Going back to Joe Price's tenure at Plainview, made 2 state championship appearances, lost both of them, with the most recent one being in 2019. First time was in 2016. Of course, Price has his son, tight end linebacker Jet Price, who's going to be a senior this year. He followed him to Garden City High School. Price left the Indians in the offseason for a hometown job, which Curtis Cole has to get used to another coach on that far side. And Scott Pratt will have to get used to the Long Grove Longhorns. As I mentioned in the opening, this is his first time facing black and white, of course, in Long Grove.
Going to have a false start.
False start. Back it up 5 yards.
Stuff can't be happening. You get free yards, you can't just give them back.
The Indians last year only lost 1 game in the regular season. It was an overtime loss to Heritage Hall. Of course, the disappointing loss, 35-14 against Bristow. They just got dominated at home, and that left a bad taste in the mouth of the Plainview Indians. They lost some experience, but they also gained some experience. And I mentioned they have a sophomore-heavy roster. It's Quinn on the draw. He'll run it, far side, lowers his shoulder, puts on the boom. Tatum Quinn, how do you do? First down and 10 for the Horns.
Tatum really isn't listening to us about, taking it easy as a quarterback.
Popping that shoulder, huh?
That's something that'll fire up the team right there, quarterback laying down a hit like that.
Heat in the kitchen. First down, 11:07 left in the second quarter. The Horns are inside the DIB Chiropractic and Wellness Red Zone.
Tatum, at least do it with your non-throwing shoulder.
Quinn will look to throw. It's caught. Armstrong is hit immediately. Jet Frankham. We're starting to see some hits, Sam. Does this make you miss the game right here?
I'll tell you what, I wish I could be out there sometimes.
Yeah. They still do alumni games? We
I'm
could get you on an alumni game.
No, you would.
You're washed.
I'm washed.
You've only been 2 years removed. Well, actually a year removed.
You'd see me up chucking on the sideline.
No gain on that play. Quinn, another draw, trying to find a hole. Longhorns moving that defensive line just a little bit as Quinn will get a short gain on the second down run. Quarterback run play.
Boys in the
Long
trenches.
Grove, we've seen it a little bit for Plainview as well.
Boys in the trenches are going to have to really step up right here. This is where it gets to crunch time, and you're that close. You got to score. So we're about a yard away from first down.
9:52 in the second quarter, third down and short. It's a catch, and that will not go anywhere. Jet Frankham again already making some plays offensively and defensively for the Indians, as that was a pass that was caught by Maddox Eidelman. And Eidelman slow to get up, I should say.
I think Plainview's got them an up-and-coming star in Frankham, them being only a sophomore.
You were high on him in the opening. So we get an injury timeout, our first injury timeout of the game. We've already, we mentioned plenty of times the loss of Chase Warden. That just
it's not something you want.
Loses physicality to your run game, and of course Warden was playing both sides of the ball, but it's also unfortunate that Warden last year was banged up towards the end of the year, and he gets a full off season. You mentioned Sam, he hits the weight room a little bit, and it really only lasted about 2 drives last week, and that might have been his season.
Yep, no, that's definitely not something you want to see. Good player on offense, and really good player on defense. He brings a lot of intensity and hard hits, and that's something you really need on defense, and they're really going to miss him on that defense.
Bright side is Warden is a junior.
Looks like we are going for a field goal.
Well, they got the right guy, Yariel De La Torre.
I feel like we only kick field goals against Plainview.
Did not attempt a field goal last week. Here's his first attempt of the year. It's up and it's blocked. Picked up, Devin Anderson picks it up. And he's brought down by Stanley. And the Plainview special teams makes a play and takes points away from the Horns. 7-0 is still your score. And Sam, I believe Frankham was right there as well, wreaking havoc. Looked like he was the first one to get to that ball to knock it down.
I don't think the Horns were ready on that one.
Which, of course, we saw last week on the other side of the ball. We saw Lone Grove get at some extra point attempts from Anadarko. Of course, number 55, Brendan Heckettthorne, had a lot to do with that. And for the first time tonight, we'll see trips formation for the Plainview Indians. 3 wide out near side to your screen. Chapa is the ball carrier for the Indians, and he's brought down right at that line of scrimmage. You see Jaden Smith, number 3 for Plainview. He's been in and out of the receiver position and the running back position. He joined Corsi and Frankham out there on that far side, near side, check that. Plainview started 6-0 last year. As I mentioned, they went 6-1 in district play with that loss coming to Heritage Hall in overtime. Of course, when you ask a lot of coaches, I think you pretty much ask every coach what their expectations are, they say gold ball. That's what Scott Pratt said as well. He knows it's going to be an uphill battle, but he's got some experience, especially at quarterback, as that's a give up the middle. This time a good run, that's Chapa. Scout Quinn on the tackle. Quarterback is just such an important position in football in all levels. You bring back experience like for both teams, Flowers for Plainview and then, of course, Tatum Quinn for Long Grove. That just gives you that extra edge. 8:15 left in this second quarter. We've seen 1 touchdown. It was a 16-yard passing touchdown from Cooper Flowers to Jet Frankham. Frankham has been a thorn in the side of the Horns. 3rd down and 3. And Flowers, I'm sure, was in that shotgun position with the intention of getting a Horn to jump off sides, and that's exactly what he did. And it looks like the Horns will give a free first down to the Plainview Indians. And now another flag at the end of the play.
Get a little bit of extracurricular activity right there.
We had mentioned in the opening, it gets messy not only with the weather conditions on the field, but also in play. Both teams, they don't like each other. And I don't think they were exchanging dinner plans after the game at the Applebee's. So. And that's just a killer penalty if it goes against the Horns.
So they're not going to accept the false start, and of course they will accept the unsportsmanlike conduct, which will give them a 15-yard advantage.
Yeah, so that was interesting because you said that was a false start.
Yep, after the play.
Call, and then after the play is the unsportsmanlike conduct. Boy, we had a lot of that in the NFL last night with the Cowboys and Eagles, huh? Did you get to watch that?
Yeah, I did. Jalen Carter just cost me a big parlay before I could even watch the game.
First down and 10. Low snap. It's picked up by Bo Brewster. Hey, the great thing about a parlay is there's always the next one. On a first down run. Dayton James on the tackle. He got Brewster. Bo Brewster only rushed for 268 yards last year, but he had a team-high 11 touchdowns in that 2024 campaign.
Yeah, Brewster's a really big back. He's their goal line back. You know, they're going to use him in crunch plays. Well, obviously, when Choppa gets tired, but
Brewster, a lot like his buddy Jet Price, who headed north. They had a lot of experience on both sides of the ball heading into their senior years, as that's a screen pass that was detected early, and you're pointing at Kason Mansfield that made a great play right there.
Mansfield on the coverage.
Mansfield had a tough game last week with the constant coverage on Napoleon Camp. Let a couple plays not go his way. He needs a big week, Sam.
Mansfield started playing last year. He never played football before in his life, so a lot of learning from last year, and hopefully he can make a factor this year.
7 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock in this second quarter. Flowers looking pressured immediately, has to roll out. He throws over the middle of the field,
Picked
and
off
it's
by
intercepted.
Scout Quinn again.
Scout Quinn now has his second interception off Flowers. Deja vu here in Lone Grove. 6:56 left and another big turnover forced by the Longhorn defense.
Great play by Scout right there.
Earning playing time.
Great play. Going to have Flowers dreaming about him, and they're going to be good dreams.
Yeah, Flowers, who we mentioned in the opener, he's been very good against Long Grove. This will be his third start against them, and he has a combined 445 passing yards, but that's not the only thing. He has a 75% completion percentage in these two games against the Horns and only one interception in those two games. He now has 3 in his career against the Horns. And that's what you got to do. An experienced quarterback like Flowers, you got to get in his head. You got to make him decisive. And Scout Quinn is doing that single-handedly. First down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Quinn with a handoff to Roberts, and Roberts gets hit, pinballed forward. More extracurricular activity after the play.
Devin Anderson.
Between Caden Hartman.
Laid a blow right there.
Devin Anderson, another transfer. This is now his third season under his belt at Plainview. Eli Brown and Caden Hartman getting after it after that play. Quinn will point to the line of scrimmage. He saw some movement on that other side, and he'll get the call.
Always will take free yards, right?
Good job by the quarterback to have some awareness and realize that he saw some movement right there. You're right, Sam. You'll take free yards. It hasn't really been a struggle for the Longhorns moving the ball, but they just haven't been able to move it at will so far. This is a 2nd down and 2. First half has flown by so far. To give to Roberts, he's met right behind the line.
It looks like we have a change at fullback. Number 4, Maddox Eidelman, he is not in the game, and Caden Hartman is now at fullback.
Colt Blackwood makes the tackle for the Indians. He's shuffling in and out for the Longhorns on offense. Of course, you get Jacob Ellis, number 9, up top, and then number 2, Braxton Armstrong, lined up at the top of your screen. And then Keller Stanley on the bottom. To give to Roberts, the Horns will continue to try to pound the run game. And again, if you watch right there, Jeremiah Gray doing a great job coordinating camera. Eli Brown and Caden Hartman are still going after it after every play.
Getting a little
chippy. They are
chippy.
fighting like bears
So hopefully Caden Hartman holds his composure. In these rivalry games, it gets personal, but you just got to keep that composure. You don't want to just give free yards away.
You don't want to lose experience like Hartman, who brings physicality. You see it in between those plays. 5 minutes flat is left on this clock in the first half. Hartman motions from right to left. Now he motions right to left, and it looks like it'll be
false start on the
false start.
Longhorns.
Illegal motion. One or the other. And after the first down.
Yeah, one of the problems with
get backed up.
having a guy that's not used to playing fullback is, when you have him motioning, he's not going to know when to get off by habit, and that's what happened there. Hartman got off a little too early, but it happens.
.452 left in the first half. First down and 15 for the Long Grove Longhorns, who have a goose egg on the scoreboard. Only ran about 4 plays inside Plainview territory. They had a chance to get some points on the board via a field goal, but it was blocked. There's a timeout on the field, and we'll take a timeout as well and be back after these words from your sponsors.
Start your project at Lone Grove True Value Hardware. It's more than just a hardware store. Besides quality hardware, Lone Grove True Value carries a full line of building materials and steel for all your projects. And they're the only authorized dealer for Trigger grills in this area. Plus, they have years of experience, so they can answer all your questions or offer helpful advice. Lone Grove True Value Hardware on Case Circle and Lone Grove.
In our community, football is more than a game. It's a tradition, a passion, and a heartbeat. At First Bank and Trust Company, we're proud to stand behind our local teams on and off the field because we're not just a bank, we're your bank. First Bank and Trust Company, investing in our youth, one Friday night at a time. Let's go! Member FDIC.
We're back to action. First down at 15. Quinn will throw down the field for Stanley, and it's incomplete. Right through the hands. Good throw by Quinn, just a little out in front. Noah Enriquez in coverage for the Horns.
That exact play reminded me of the Dak to C.D. Lamb last night.
That has been a play. That's been probably the number one play that's been talked about, other than Jalen Carter spitting on Dak. That has been the play. C.D. Lamb left a lot of receptions out on the table for the Cowboys last night, right?
It's no good, but I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'm all right with it.
Of course, you're a Vikings fan, well-known Vikings fan.
Of course.
Quinn on second down and 15. He looks, has no one open. Great coverage downfield by Plainview. He's pointing. Quinn has to throw it down the field, and it's incomplete. That was somewhat of a dangerous throw as he threw into somewhat double coverage right there as Corsi was down there. Third down and 15 now with under 4.5 to play in the second quarter. Teams to open the season in Week 1 in District 3A1, of course. That's where Plainview resides. Kingfisher and Purcell are the other 2 of 3 teams that will open up the season in Week 1. Only 3 teams opened their season tonight. Only 3 teams played in Week 0 in District 3A2. Of course, that's District 3A2. That's the district that Lone Grove resides in now. And just like that, Sam, we will be opening district play here very soon.
That's when games start to matter.
That's exactly right.
Obviously nobody wants to lose, but losing these games, yeah, they suck, but
right through the hands, off the numbers of Abel Shorter on the first down and 10 throw. There was a penalty flag, too, that granted a first down and 10 for the Long Grove Longhorns, and that slipped past me. So that was a first down and 10. It's second down and 10 now, 4:23 left in the second quarter. Ball at the 36-yard line.
God said, let there be light.
Sun's going down. Curtis Cole, the head coach of the Long Grove Longhorns, his overall record at home 12-9, including a 5-0 campaign as the first year as the head coach of the Long Grove Longhorns. Fumble. Quinn has to hop on it. And still, even after that fumble, Quinn picked the ball up and tried to still make something happen. A lot of guys just kind of dive on the play. Dive on the ball, save it for another play. Quinn still tried to make something happen, but the official blows the whistle.
You know, we went from a drop pass by Abel Shorter that was just directly in his hands, and it just fell, and then, you know, that bad snap. I wonder if this rain's starting to pick up just a little bit, and this ball's starting to get a little slippery.
Wind is blowing as well.
It is blowing pretty good.
Calm winds to start the game, and that is hard to believe considering the conditions we had in pregame. Of course, both teams were out. Plainview pumping their chests. They were fired up, yelling, screaming. Long Grove was doing the same. A 3rd down and 14 run. It goes nowhere. Unbelievable pursuit. Devin Anderson right there flexing his muscles, and it's a 4th down for the Long Grove Longhorns. Check that. Indians will get the ball back with prime real estate. 3:47 left in this first half. The Indians were 5-0 last year, away from their home turf, including a 23-13 win over the eventual 2A state champion Davis Wolves. We'll keep it right here. So far, scoring-wise, it's been a lackluster game. This makes me think of the 2020 game. I'm sure you remember that, freshman year for Sam Harris. It was a walk-off field goal win by Jackson Lee to win it 15-14. Can you tell me about that game in particular?
I didn't play it all. I was on the sideline, so I got a front row view, but it was a very chippy game. I remember for Plainview they had Caden Pickens. That was their star player at running back and linebacker. He had a great game, but, you know, all around Cody McClanahan had a great game. You know, all around just Jace Brandenburg, those guys, and then obviously it came down to that game-winning field goal and almost blocked by Caden Pickens, but he smoked it. And
Brandenburg had some unbelievable receivers like Malik Brown, Gavin Peary was one. This ball will take a good Long Grove bounce past the 30, near the 25 to the 27. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more. The Plainview Indians look to add on to their already 7-point lead with 3:35 left in the second quarter.
Hunter SuperTex has been here since 2006 and will be here to provide you excellent service for your home service needs. Who said you need to sweat over getting a new HVAC system? With our special financing options fitting every budget. Oh, and did we mention you won't need to leave your comfy spot? Stay right there on your couch. Free estimates and financing, all from your sofa. Hunter SuperTex, making home comfort a breeze. Go visit huntersupertex.com and
3:35 left in the second quarter. It's Flowers looking to throw downfield. He has a man, and it is caught. First down, Indians. Number 28, Braden Walden, the senior, makes the play. Using his length downfield, makes a jump ball catch.
There's a lot of questions on Plainview's receivers, you know, considering they lost so many, but with a catch like that, that's a pretty good catch. Come down with that ball, double team. Judging by the sideline reaction, he must not see that often.
Gain of 23 yards. 3:12 left. Ball inside Long Grove territory. Early movement up front, and we have a whistle, and I believe we have a timeout. We have a stoppage of play no matter what. Dominique Corsi checks out of the game for the Indians. Checking in is Noah Enriquez. So it's Smith, Enriquez, and Frankham lined up in a trips formation near side. Frankham in motion once again. It's a fake, and it's a give to Chapa. Chapa is not brought
down.
Swirling up. There he goes down the field. He breaks another tackle. 44 yards to the house. Broken tackles all around. And a touchdown for Plainview.
It's not something you see every day, Andy. Great play by Chopper right there. Almost brought down, stayed on his feet, had great balance, took it all the way.
You can see why he led the team in rushing yards, did not lead the team in touchdowns, but a big 44-yard strike. Chapa with some physical running. You thought he was brought down by Brandon Heckathorn for a moment, but he squirts back up, breaks one more tackle down the sideline to score, and the Indians are up double figures. Harlow, that extra point is blocked. Hartman gets his paw on it, and it's 13-0. So you can forget about putting that extra point on the board. Long Grove shaves it off, courtesy of Hartman. And 2:37 left. It seems like the Horns will have an eternity here to try to get the ball down the field and try to punch it in the end zone. We'd also like to mention that the Horns won the toss. They deferred for the second half, so they will get the ball to start this second half. That's what happened last week, and that's what will happen again. $13-0 here in Long Grove, Oklahoma. 5 Mile Feud, the 47th version of the 5 Mile Feud. Think of all the notable players on both sides of the ball. You mentioned Caden Pickens, who is a nightmare, I'm sure, to face against as a, for a Mike linebacker like yourself, having that guy run up and down your throat. That was probably a nightmare, huh?
Yeah, no, he's a great player. He's still playing at ECU. Great player.
Along with Lane Johnson.
Yep.
Of course, notable players for the Horns, you can think of Jackson McClanahan, who had his share of victories for the Long Grove Longhorns. You can think of the person that's standing to my right, Sam Harris, second all-time leader in tackles in Long Grove Longhorn history. The A.J. Hawk of the Long Grove Longhorns, if you will. 2:37 left.
To my Pat McAfee, to my left.
That's right. Some people call me a goofball like Pat McAfee. That will bounce out of bounds. And as you see, more penalty flags after the play.
Penalty flags on the field.
Curious to see who these will be on. I'm assuming they're probably going to go on the Longhorns, considering they were the ones blocking.
Looks like the Longhorns are the initiators. Of course, going back to last night's game in Philadelphia, saw lots of fighting in between, before, after plays. We had the big scrum on the kickoff. Dallas got the worst end of that deal. They got some personal fouls that gave the Eagles prime position, and I'm sure head coach Curtis Cole, along with Tim Reeder, who's in the other box to our left, I'm sure these guys aren't happy about the costly penalties that they are giving the Plainview Indians here, and really hurting themselves offensively. And a timely drive where you need points, that just can't happen on a kickoff. But, of course, the officials are having a meeting, and, we're just assuming it's against the Horns.
Yeah, I did see the referee point towards the Longhorns, so that is going to be a 15-yard penalty going against the Longhorns. All week, I know Coach Cole's preached all week, keep your composure. Oh, I'm sorry. Unless the chains are moving. They're still talking about it. Maybe they've changed their mind.
The white cap official is talking to head coach Scott Pratt. And Scott Pratt has a look from his body that is like, that's on us.
Wow.
Which I will tend to agree with him. But looks like nothing was called against Lone Grove as well.
Well, we'll take it.
Usually, if you get in these kind of situations where there's a fight usually the officials will look at the retaliation rather than
Correct.
who started it. Yeah. So officials might have saw some retaliation from Plainview that drew the flags, which works out in Long Grove's favor. But still, Sam, don't you think if you're Coach Cole, you got to talk to your team at halftime?
No, definitely. And, one thing I know Coach Cole's been preaching all week is keep your composure. Keep your composure. It's going to get heated. It's going to get chippy. And so far, these Longhorns, they're not doing a great job at it. And they really got to keep their composure because penalties go a long way. And
this is an extended delay.
This is a very extended delay.
Not like last night's game with the Lightning.
No.
But it's an extended delay due to the officials trying to figure out. Sure, they're trying to sort both sides out, both coaching staffs.
All the refs talking to Coach McClanahan.
Looks like Nubbin McClanahan is down there talking to all 4 officials.
Brother Nub. Great guy.
4 of the 6 officials that we have tonight here in Long Grove for the 5-mile feud. And the ball. So it looks like they're just going to re-kick. Ball's placed on the 20. And we will re-kick.
So I'm assuming what happened is Coach Cole had the option of a re-kickoff back from obviously where they're kicking is the 20-yard line or a 15-yard penalty from the spot of where the ball was kicked, which obviously kicking off from where they are would be better. A lot more open field. We will see what happens here. Looks like we have Keller Stanley, Kane Roberts, and Luke Stinson back to return.
This ball will be kicked from the 20 by Henry Harlow. Harlow's got to put some leg on this one, and does he? A line drive shot caught by Stinson right at the numbers. Stinson will now cut it down the sideline, lowers the shoulder, and gets across the 45-yard line. Good return from Stinson. Stinson accounted for 2 touchdowns last week in the devastating loss to Anadarko. He had a rushing touchdown, but the first touchdown he had was a scoop and score.
Scoop and score.
First defensive touchdown for the Long Grove Longhorns in 2025.
Curious to see what the Longhorns will do here with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, heading towards halftime. Coach Cole, I believe, still has all of his timeouts.
Once again, the Long Grove Longhorns will have the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and gave Plainview the ball first. Of course, that resulted in an interception. One of 2 interceptions from Flowers to Scout Quinn. Speaking of Quinn, that's Tatum Quinn running to the outside. Clock continues to run. As we hit the 2-minute warning, of course, the clock will not stop. Of course, we got an NFL game going on right now, Sam. Chiefs-Chargers somewhere in Brazil. Quinn, fake handoff to Roberts. Looking to the outside, second straight run play. There's a penalty flag as Quinn is slung down first by Devin Anderson. Also there to make the play is Bo Brewster and number 55, Tucker Tillison. First time we've called his name tonight. And that's a penalty against the Longhorns. It'll back them up from the original line of scrimmage, which was the 47 of Plainview. So this knocks them back into their own territory. 1:42 left in this first half. Of course, clock stops as well at 1:42. And now the clock will run. Second down and 15 after the 10-yard penalty. Hartman in motion. Quinn in the shotgun position with Roberts. He'll look far side. Pressured. Breaks away from the tackler. Quinn breaks off another. Now he'll look downfield. Throw to the sideline. It's caught by Roberts. Great job relocating out of the backfield Roberts on the play action fake was running far side, saw that his quarterback was in trouble, relocates all the way to the near side, and makes a great play for a first down catch.
You know, every receiver has a route they're supposed to run, but when a quarterback starts getting pressured like that and it kind of turns into a jumbo play, it turns into just get open, and that's what Roberts did right there. Tatum found him. Big gain right there. It's what they needed right there.
Ball gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. It's at the 39-yard line now. 1:21 left. A screen pass. It's for Stanley. Stanley spins off a couple broken tackles. Keller Stanley, physical player, brought down once again by Devin Anderson and also by number 65, Chase Howell. Stanley, a lot like Warden and Quinn, you saw these guys put on some pounds in a good way. You saw them in the weight room putting on some good weight. Of course, Stanley was making plays in that 2023 game at Plainview, so this is his third time facing up against the Indians. The 37-yard line, it was just a gain of 2, but Quinn will fire a rifle right to Stanley.
Smart play
Stanley brought down by Jaden Smith out of bounds.
Smart play by Stanley getting out of there out of bounds. Stop the clock.
Absolutely. Stops the clock at 34 seconds.
Be some quick plays here.
That was also a good display of get the ball out by Quinn. He hasn't had a lot of those instances tonight where he has had a clean pocket, but right there, he found Stanley, who was open off the curl route. Smith still guarding Stanley at the bottom of your screen. Quinn throwing Hartman right through his hands. Frankham in coverage. Second down and 10. Clock stops at 30 seconds.
Little high by Tatum there. He wishes he could have had that.
Are you hesitant here to try to play for a field goal after you had your first attempt blocked, or are you trying to get in the end zone here?
Man.
Obviously, you're trying to get in the end zone.
Yeah,
you still got 30 seconds left.
Yes, of course. You know, it just kind of depends on how the plays go, of course. You know, I'm sure Coach Cole's got some design plays of getting out of bounds quickly, which he still does have his 3 timeouts, so we'll see what happens here. But I think he's comfortable with a
pass is dropped, incomplete.
Time still stops at 25 seconds left.
They tried to go back to Stanley on that curl route, and it looked like Devin Anderson was the first to get to Stanley, and really that was just a drop by Stanley. Third down and 10, 25 seconds, and now the Horns find themselves, if you get in 4th down and 10, let's just say you get an incompletion here, 4th down and 10 at the 28-yard line is kind of considered no man's land, especially with 25 seconds left at the end of the half. To me, at least.
Yeah, of course.
That's a long field goal.
In high school.
In high school, of course. Quinn looking, end zone, Stanley, caught, dropped, incomplete. 2 straight drops from Stanley. He had it right in the breadbasket. And Quinn, I don't think could have put it any better for the senior receiver. And now you get in that situation that I was just talking about. 19 seconds left, 4th down and 10, and you feel like you just have to go for it here. That's a costly drop right there.
Coach Grohl's going to take a timeout here and really design up a play on how to go about here.
We'll take a timeout as well. Run a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for a crucial play, 4th down and 10. We'll be back after this.
M&M Automotive is now in its bigger, better location right on Highway 70 for your convenience. M&M specializes in air conditioning services of all kinds, including building and repairing AC lines for cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. They also do custom and factory exhaust systems, from brakes and tires to computer diagnostics, from tune-ups and oil changes to belts and water pumps, as well as transmission, suspensions, and general repair and maintenance. M&M Automotive offers a 2 to 3 year parts and labor warranty on all services. Trust your vehicle to the professionals at M&M Automotive Air Conditioning and Exhaust. Now on Highway 70 in Lone Grove.
Oh, there's J-Mac right there.
Pouring rain here in Long Grove. As we get set, we're going to have a high school spotlight interview brought to you by the station, and it's going to be former, can I say all-time great? Can I say all-time great? He was very good at Lone Grove.
Some people may differ.
All-state quarterback Jackson McClanahan.
All-star.
All-star quarterback. I apologize. Ball's at the 28-yard line, and as you see the rain.
Rain is picking up here.
4th down and 10. Here we go. Quinn looking, evading pressure,
Wide
throwing.
Open.
He's got a man, and it's dropped. The intended receiver was Farrell. And if Quinn just puts a little more mustard underneath that football, that's probably a touchdown, if not a first down. It was caught right at the goal line, awkward position.
You're starting to wonder if this heavy rain's really starting to play a factor in the normal circumstances. Tatum's going to complete that ball 9 times out of 10, but it's not that play.
Just some crucial plays, some drops. Of course, Stanley dropped it in the end zone. And then the underthrow right there, he had Farrell open. And the Horns needed a big play right there like oxygen, especially heading into this halftime break. I'd imagine Plainview throws down a knee and just heads into the halftime break up 13-0 on the Horns. That's what they will do. Flowers takes the snap out of the shotgun position, takes a knee, and we are heading into the halftime break. We will be right back. We'll play some commercial breaks and get you reset here at the halftime break.
M&M Automotive is now in its bigger, better location right on Highway 70 for your convenience. M&M specializes in air conditioning services of all kinds, including building and repairing AC lines for cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. They also do custom and factory exhaust systems, from brakes and tires to computer diagnostics, from tune-ups and oil changes to belts and water pumps, as well as transmission, suspensions, and general repair and maintenance. M&M Automotive offers a 2 to 3 year parts and labor warranty on all services. Trust your vehicle to the professionals at M&M Automotive Air Conditioning and Exhaust. Now on Highway 70 in Lone Grove.
Curbside pickup from Applebee's of Ardmore is an easy way to enjoy all of your Applebee's game day favorites. Favorites like the Fiesta Lime Chicken or made-to-order burgers. And Applebee's 2 for $25 is always a winning play. Order online or via the Applebee's app. Or better yet, have Applebee's cater your game day party. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's of Ardmore. Open till midnight Sunday through Thursday and open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
Every community that we're involved in, we make local investments, whether that's time, that's money, or that's the resources of the bank. All of our employees are engaged in the communities that they serve. Our local booster clubs, our football clubs, our school programs. We invest our time and resources by volunteering within the schools. Lastly, our business model is to financially support the communities. Loaning out local dollars, we're able to build up our communities that we serve. First National Bank is my community bank.
PayMe checking is the #1 debit card at Communication Federal. With good reason, because you earn real money rewards with your Visa debit card. With Communication Federal, you can get a fresh, shiny new debit card at the branch same day, so you can get out there and do your thing and get rewards for doing it. Open your PayMe checking account online at comfedcu.org or at any branch in just a few minutes. PayMe checking, only from Communication Federal Credit Union.
Welcome you back inside the broadcast booth, halftime break. And we welcome you into the high school spotlight interview that's brought to you by The Station, a mouth-watering menu and wall-to-wall TVs. The Station is your spot for pro, college, and even your local high school sports teams. 2 blocks east of the Carter County Courthouse on Mill Street, open 7 days a week. The Station, where every game is played on home turf. And I would like to imagine that the people at the Station tonight are catching on some 5 Mile Feud football, Long Grove football. And we're joined by an all-star, former all-star, really good player, played both sides of the ball, started his career at Long Grove playing both sides of the ball until he got the reins at quarterback. And he is undefeated in this rivalry as a starting quarterback. Jackson McClanahan, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Well, J-Mac, I got to ask, you put football behind you. Your high school career is over. And what does it mean to you to be out here and watching your former squad go after a rival like Plainview?
Yeah, it's always good to come back and watch the program that you played so hard for and support. It's a great community here at Long Grove, and Coach Coley runs a good program. And, yeah.
A squad that went 2-8 last year, they missed the playoffs. First time Coach Cole's missed the playoffs here at Long Grove. This team so far this year, it's been pretty encouraging to Sam and I because, we got to watch them fight against Anadarko last week, and, things have not gone their way so far. But I see a lot of improvement on this team. Do you think the same as well?
I do, too. I see a bunch of physical improvements. We've gotten bigger, faster, stronger for sure, and I think that's noticeable for everybody here. Tatum Quinn, he plays his heart out. He's got a good arm, and he's being decisive tonight with his decisions, and looking forward to the second half of this ballgame.
Starting quarterback, unfortunately, you only got 1 year, and you were fantastic. I remember just calling your games. Seemed like you had like 5 total touchdowns every game. You had about 3 on the ground, 2 in the air. You had unbelievable receivers. Demarion Jackson, I can think of one. Brody Harris, I can think of another. You guys just had really good teams, and unfortunately you had your senior year cut short in a playoff game against Perkins Tryon. How often do you just think about those memories? Like, do you just – is it an everyday thing? Does something little remind you of back in the football days, or do you just kind of think about it all the time?
I mean, football is definitely going to always be a part of me and who I am, and Lone Grove football, to be more specific, I've been here since 3rd grade, been on the sidelines of basically every football game that's been played here throughout the years, and it's definitely a big part of my life. And I was surrounded by a great group of guys, great friends that I've made. Demarion Jackson, Brody Harris, great receivers that I got to throw the ball to that made me look good. And, it's always good to think about. There's so many great memories to look back on. It's hard to pick one to choose as your favorite, but for sure, man, it'll definitely be a part of who I am forever.
Our man Sam Harris here, who has been my color commentator for a game and a half now, what do you think about his performance? Or have you listened to him yet?
Yeah, I tuned in last week. He's all I mean, he's all right.
He's all right. He's not bad.
He's done a great job.
This is his first time analyzing football on the air. Of course, we can all sit on our couch and be a Monday morning quarterback and analyze the game, but go ahead.
Jackson McClanahan, I have to ask you a question. Your junior year, you played safety. And what were your thoughts on playing defense?
Oh, defense was definitely more fun to play than offense, and that might surprise you for me to say that, but I love playing defense. A little less thinking, a little bit more reacting, and I got to play beside you, an absolute stud of a middle linebacker. And for sure, man, defense, that's where it's at. Defense wins championships.
So specifically with this game, this 5 Mile Feud rivalry, which these guys aren't district opponents anymore. They kind of went their own way. But it's good to see that they've still adapted this rivalry or still kept the game going on.
Yeah.
Your game, senior year, as your starting quarterback, I mentioned you were undefeated, 1-0, and you did it in dramatic fashion. It was 34-28. You had a walk-off touchdown win. Just kind of, for the viewer at home, what is it like to be a starting quarterback in a rivalry like this where it's fierce, it's competitive, it gets chippy? We've seen a ton of that tonight.
Yep.
Just kind of take me through what that is like.
It's definitely a rivalry that's built on some sort of a hatred. I mean, we don't like each other. Plainview doesn't like Lone Grove. Lone Grove doesn't like Plainview. It's a well-known thing. But playing quarterback or just being involved in this rivalry, it's great, and it's great to see that they continue the tradition of this rivalry, although they are not in the same district. And, yeah, for sure.
Seems like something a couple in-state schools should do in college. You know, even though they're not in the same conference, maybe keep the rivalry going. You know, of course, we're talking about Bedlam. But really, Jackson, that's really it, man. I think you killed it, man. Good job. Of course, you got your older brother Cody, who's right here.
Yeah.
We got the whole McClanahan bloodline in here. And then we got, of course, your dad, who's on the coaching staff still to this day. And Lane was up here as well. You guys, so many countless years of just games in this rivalry and a lot of impact. And, of course, some wins against Plainview as well for all of you guys. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely.
Shout out
Good
Brody
job,
Harris.
man.
Shout out Stetson Bradshaw. Shout out Gavin Dutch Miller and Sam Harris. And Jackson Hambone Harris. What's his last name? Hammonds. Hambone. There we go.
The pride of Stillwater. He is the mayor of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Jackson Hammonds is. I see him walking around all the time. Thank you so much to Jackson McClanahan. That was the Station High School Spotlight interview. A mouthwatering menu and wall-to-wall TVs. The Station is your spot for pro, college, and even your local high school sports teams. 2 blocks east of the Carter County Courthouse on Mill Street. Open 7 days a week. The Station, where every game is played on home turf. I imagine the Station has the Chargers-Chiefs game going on. I haven't been paying attention to it.
I have not.
And I'd imagine there's going to be some big-time college football and pro football going on. The Station, of course, open 7 days a week. You can find those games right there. And, of course, you can also find a great menu, great food.
Great service as well. That's one thing I can say about the Station. They've got great service. And then, obviously, food. That's what you want to go to a restaurant for is the food. You've got good food, too.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, run some commercials, and be back after these words from your sponsors as we see the Thundering Herd. We'll let them get some airtime here as you're watching Lone Grove Longhorn football against Plainview in the 5 Mile Feud.
Where you going?
At Kerr Pumps, innovation powers everything we do. With over 100 patented technologies, precision CNC machining, advanced robotics, and unrivaled customer service, we set the standard in pump technology. From our world-class manufacturing facilities in Sulphur and Marietta, Oklahoma, our people are lowering the cost of hydraulic fracturing and helping make America energy dominant again. If you want to join an innovative team, apply today at KerrPumpsJobs.com. Made in America. Made in Oklahoma.
Dive into the new Ultimate Trio at your neighborhood Applebee's of Ardmore, where every combo is a winning play. Pick, mix, and score for just $14.99. Who will you draft? Will it be chicken quesadillas with chipotle lime salsa or boneless wings with house-made ranch or blue cheese? With 10 apps and 10 dips to combine, any combination could be the winning play. The Ultimate Trio, only at your neighborhood Applebee's of Ardmore, 2680 West Broadway. Open till midnight Sunday through Thursday and open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
Athletic injuries are essentially orthopedic injuries with sports-specific components. At Excel Therapy, our goal is for the athlete to return to the sport quickly. Excel Therapy can assist in speeding up recovery following surgery by improving range of motion, strength, and flexibility. At Excel Therapy, we excel at sports medicine. We excel at physical therapy. We excel at helping you excel. With clinics in Ardmore and Durant, our team excels at orthopedic injury recovery and sports medicine. Find us at exceltherapyok.com.
The Station Sports Bar and Grill is the ultimate hangout where the game is always on, the music's always live, and the good times never stop. With indoor and outdoor seating available, ice-cold drinks, and a mouth-watering menu, plus wall-to-wall TVs, this is your spot for pro, college, and even your local high school sports teams. Simply put, it's a game day vibe you won't find anywhere else. Be sure to follow the station on Facebook to see who's coming to perform on the Boxcar Stage, 2 blocks east of the Carter County Courthouse on Mill Street, open 7 days a week. The Station Sports Bar and Grill, where every game is played on home turf.
At Taco Casa, we get our beef from the American rancher, our corn from the American farmer, and our cheese from the American dairyman. We feed Americans. Taco Casa, real fresh, real food, real good, since 1972.
71 degrees in Lone Grove, Oklahoma. It don't feel like 71 degrees, though.
No, it does not. It feels a little bit colder, actually.
Also shows we're getting some rain. The rain kind of slowly vanished. I don't see it.
No.
We got some heavy rain as we have our chief meteorologist, Sam Harris, who has us a weather update.
Yes, weather update is a lot of rain coming. It looks like for the meantime, in the next 10 minutes, it's going to be no storms. And at about, I guess we're going to be clear till about 9:20, and then 9:30 the rain is supposed to start picking up again. But it's going to be some light drizzle, nothing crazy. And then, but later on in the night, we're going to have some pretty decent storms. You know, it could fizzle off. It could get more extreme. But as of right now, just a decent amount of rain. Nothing too crazy or anything to be worried about. And I think for the rest part of this game, we're going to have a dry game, hopefully.
Sam Harris, a man of many talents, and now he can dip his toes into maybe being a weatherman one day if whatever his –
Steve Lenore, I'm coming for you.
You know, what am I trying to say? His, career path, his main career path, because I know you got a few, including color analyst.
Yeah, color analyst, welder, electrician, salesman.
We're underway to begin the third quarter. It's fielded by Kane Roberts. He's up the middle, shot out of a cannon, past the 40, and that's how we start the third quarter. So a jolt of energy, you could say, is desperately needed for this Lone Grove Longhorn offense.
I had to go use the facilities in the locker room and
you got a report on that.
And walking in there, these guys are definitely motivated, and they've got a bad taste in their mouth, and I expect to see some fire in these guys' butts, and we'll see if we see a different group of Longhorns coming out here in the second half. I'm excited to see what goes on here. The coaches definitely gave them a little pep talk, we'll say.
Ball at the 40-yard line. After the nice return from Kane Roberts. In motion is Keller Stanley. High snap, Keller Stanley on the handoff, and he's brought down. Brought down by number 28, Braden Walden. No gain on the play, second down and 10. Lone Grove taking their time. So we are in the Jeff Sato service third quarter. Quinn sends Roberts out wide. He'll throw that way, and it's a low pass, and it was never caught. And just like that, the Horns have themselves on third down and 8. They'll give Keller Stanley 2 yards.
Braxton Armstrong checking in the game for Elijah Mims.
.11:08 left in the third quarter. Horns need a first down here. Indians looking to carry their momentum, continue their momentum out of this halftime break. Quinn looking, sideline, throws. It's nearly intercepted. Broken up by Jaden Smith. The intended receiver was Braxton Armstrong, who Sam mentioned just checked into the game, and the Horns with a 3 and out.
Longhorns got lucky right there. Real lucky. Looks like a number 9, Jacob Ellis, will punt the ball. He's been doing a good job punting the ball all game. Hopefully not to jinx him. Knock on wood.
Ellis with his third punt of the night. Fields it well and gets a nice boot into it. Ball kind of dies near the 25-yard line and trickles forward to the 22-yard line. And that's where Plainview will take over for their first drive of the second half. So, Sam, what do you expect out of this Plainview offense? They have not been firing at all cylinders by no means, but they have a couple big plays that set them up for touchdowns. Of course, they had the 44-yard touchdown by Matthew Chapa.
Yeah.
But then they had the long touchdown pass to Corsi, and then the 16-yard passing touchdown to Jet Frankham that got them on the board for the first time.
No, the Longhorns defense really has been playing very, very well so far. They've just given up 2 big chunk plays, which, that happens every now and then. They've been controlling the run really well. They gave up that big play to Chapa, which was a great play by him. But besides that, when it comes to big runs,
there's Flowers, who will throw it down the middle of the field. It's caught by Coursey. Right on cue. We talked about the big play from the sophomore number 1. He set them up on their first touchdown drive, and he got a big catch right there inside Long Grove territory.
Did knock on wood on that one. But, no, seriously, so far when it comes to consistent offense or defense, the Longhorns have been doing a good job on the D-line of getting pressure, stopping the run, The secondary really needs to step up. I really feel like, that's been the really weakness so far on this Longhorn defense. There's big plays, penalties need to be avoided. Hopefully they got it all out of their system, and we'll see if we can have a cleaner game there. But with Plainview having the lead 13-0, I would expect them to, try to keep the clock on their side, run the ball a little bit more. It hasn't been going their way. You may see more pass, maybe a little bit more screens, sweeps, stuff like that. But I would definitely see some clock management on Plainview's side of things.
The drive started on the 22-yard line, and the long pass, the connection from Flowers to Coursey, who has worked tonight. Senior to sophomore connection gets the Plainview Indians at the 36-yard line. So under 10.5 to play in the third quarter. Drive continues for Plainview after 1 play. They have it at the 36. Bunch set to the right, and then Coursey's out wide to the left. Guarded by Scout Quinn. It's a give up the middle to Chapa, which Matthew Chapa, other than the 44-yard rushing touchdown, he's been held quite contently by the Long Grove Longhorns.
Yeah, no, that was a great play by Abel Shorter right there, from the safety coming down and getting in the box really quickly and making that from a big gain to only about a 2-yard gain. Great play by Abel right there.
Under 10 minutes to play. 2-yard gain by Chapa. Ball at the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Another give to Chapa up the middle, and once again, short gain. Got a little extra burst there at the end, brought down by a multitude of horns, and it'll be 3rd down. Under 9.5 to play now. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. 5 Mile Feud action, season opener for Plainview, 2nd game of the year for the Long Grove Longhorns. Longhorns looking to get in the win column. Plainview looking to win their season opener for first-year head coach at Plainview, Scott Pratt. And a penalty flag.
You're going to have an offsides on the Longhorns. They jumped on the false call. That's going to put them about a yard short on 3rd down.
Instead of 3rd down and 6, it makes it 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and much more manageable for the Horns. For the Indians. Led by senior quarterback Cooper Flowers in his 3rd career start against the Long Grove Longhorns. It's a give up the middle to Chapa, bouncing to the outside. He's got speed to the corner, near the 5, near the goal line, and he's knocked out of bounds. 1st down. They needed 1 yard, and they get 25 yards on the run from Chapa. His 2nd run of 20 or more yards. Explosive plays. That's what the Indians are offering so far. Ball is at the 3, making a 24-yard scamper from Chapa. It's a give to Bo Brewster, who checks into the game. Once again, led the team in rushing touchdowns a year prior. He gets stopped. They might give him 1 or 2. The Horns have their backs against the wall. Plainview knocking on the door, looking to bust down the door for their third touchdown of the night. There's a whistle. Not sure what the stoppage of play is for. That was a 2-yard run by Brewster. This drive started at the 22-yard line. Plainview threatening to go 78 yards. This will be their 5th play of the drive. Flowers, handoff. Brewster met in the backfield.
Blown up immediately by a crowd of Longhorns. Luke Stinson.
Caden Hartman as well.
Hartman, yeah, that was a great stop by the Longhorns right there.
Abel Shorter as well back there. So that is going to be a loss of 4 yards.
Brewster is checking out of the game. It looks like Plainview is getting out of their heavy formation and going back to their standard offense with Choppa back in. Expect maybe a little rollout pass or something like that, you know.
That's a good win. That's a good win for Lone Grove because you get Brewster out of the game, who's their short yardage, pounded up the middle back. Now it looks like
maybe a sweep.
Plainview might try to get it outside the lines here. Maybe get something towards the numbers. Flowers looks, throws. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. The intended receiver was Coursey, and that's a big play because Coursey was open. If that's a clean throw to Dominique Coursey, that's probably a touchdown.
Yep.
Under 7.5 to play, 4th down. And now a decision for Scott Pratt. And I don't think he's even thinking about a field goal here. He will try to go for this. And why not? You're up 13 points.
Devin Anderson checks in the game.
Seems like he have all the momentum right now.
Expect kind of a funky play here.
2 wide out to the left. Flowers. Frankham in motion. Fumbled snap. Flowers has to hop on it. He does. No matter what, that's a turnover on downs. And a disastrous play. Disastrous sequence for the Indians. They were at the 1-yard line 3 plays ago, and now it's a turnover on downs, and the Lone Grove Longhorns will have it near the 20-yard line. That cannot happen for Plainview, especially if you're trying to build on a lead.
No, that's the start of some momentum for Lone Grove right there. Being a defensive player, that right there really gives you just a big gasp of relief and a lot of confidence going out there, knowing that you can stop them, and you just caused all that, and hopefully a lot of momentum for the offense to go out there and maybe want to put some points on this board.
Lone Grove will get the ball at the 20-yard line, at their own 20, here in the third quarter. 7:23 left in the third. Quinn, pump fake, looking down the sideline, incomplete. Just seems like there hasn't been the pass plays through the air have just not been executed well by Lone Grove. A lot of balls that are kind of underthrown, others that have been dropped. There's just been some plays where they've connected and the passing game looks promising, but other plays where it just doesn't look like they can get it going. 2nd down and 10. Clock stops at 7:17. You okay, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good deal. Now there's a mist, if you call it that, mist of rain. Give the Roberts. What's your favorite song about rain? I know I kind of put you on the spot there.
I'm going to have to go Purple Rain because that is one of my fantasy team's names.
By Prince or Future?
By Prince.
Okay.
The original.
Okay, the original. Not by Future?
Not by Future. No diss to Future, but I got to go with the OG there.
You know what? I'm impressed by you because I put you on the spot. I apologize. I don't try to do that as much because you're my color analyst, but I had to put you on the spot there. Low snap. Right. Quinn looking over the middle. It is incomplete. Frankham again. Heat in the kitchen. And there is an injury on the field as that was an ugly collision.
That's one of those balls where it puts you in a really bad position, and it
clean hit. It was a good hit, But unfortunate for the Horns, because that was Abel Shorter who was down. Check that, it's Braxton Armstrong. I apologize, but Armstrong is getting attended to on the sideline, and he gets up, and he just got cracked on that side. That cannot feel good, especially and what we don't think about is in these weather conditions where it's maybe a little chillier, maybe you feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And he will feel that when he wakes up tomorrow. Another 3 and out. So far, Long Grove Longhorns in 2 possessions have had 3 yards of offense. They had 2 yards of offense on their first drive, and they just had 1 right there. Shorter, this one's up in the air. Not his best punt of the night, but it will work as this ball is down at the 49-yard line. Jacob Ellis punting. Check that. I apologize. Plainview will take over for their second offensive possession. We'll take a break as well.
At Taco Casa, we get our beef from the American rancher, our corn from the American farmer, and our cheese from the American dairyman. We feed Americans. Taco Casa, real fresh, real food, real good, since 1972.
Second offensive possession for Plainview. They start on their own 49-yard line.
Sweep to Frankham, immediately brought down for a loss by Abel Shorter.
Might give him a yard.
Hartman and Dayton James.
Eighth play already ran by Plainview in this second half. 6 minutes to play. We've reached the halfway point of this third quarter. Flowers throwing. Being chased by Heckathorn. Pump fake. Got Stanley in the air, and there goes Cooper Flowers.
Oh.
That'll be a
blindside.
A rather silly mistake down there, as Flowers clearly had the first down and he was heading out of bounds. But that'll be a penalty flag, and that play will likely be negated.
And that's going to be a personal foul, so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
It was on Frankham, and Scott Pratt not happy on that play. Like we said, that negated a long first down run by Flowers. And a great play by Flowers, too. He was chased by Heckathorn. Stanley comes in pursuit. Flowers throws a pump fake, gets Stanley in the air, and just blew right by him. Almost like when you're in basketball and you're on the baseline. You want to make him move, throw a pump fake like prime Carmelo Anthony.
You know, what's sad is these days when people say Melo, they're going to think of LaMelo.
They think of LaMelo ball. That's right.
Not a great
That makes us unk. First down and 10. 5:40 left. Ball at midfield. It's a give up the middle. Nice misdirection by Plainview. It fooled the play-by-play announcers. It's a give up the middle. Braylon Weaver makes the tackle on Bo Brewster. Brewster, like we said, the ground and pound running back. Led the team with 11 rushing touchdowns. Was a vital part of the run game, along with Chapa and Jaden Smith, who's had a few carries tonight, but is mainly lined out at the receiver position like you see at the bottom of your screen. Second down and 6 after the gain of 4. It's Brewster again on the outside, and he gets closer to the first down mark, but is still stopped shy. got tackled right at the Plainview sideline, and it looks like there's a few players down there that are a little slow to get up. Looks like Brewster has not gotten up yet. Now he has, and he will check out. And a third down. Looks like 3rd down and 2 at the 46-yard line. Ball started at the 49-yard line of Plainview. Clock continuing to tick at 4:17 in this third quarter. Another man in motion. It's Smith. Fake. Flowers. Keeps it himself. Cooper Flowers with blockers down the field, and he's brought down finally by Hartman. But a huge run. Flowers making plays with his legs. Not the first time he's done that tonight either. .404 left in the third quarter. And it's a 1st down and 10 with the ball spotted at the 16-yard line. Flowers, another man in motion. It's Smith, and there's a flag. A 26-yard scamper by Flowers gives the Indians a 1st down and 10. The ball was originally spotted at the 16. Now it'll be spotted at the 21-yard line. We had a false start on Plainview, so that backs them up 5 yards, makes it 1st down and 15. Andy Dunham, Sam Harris, with you on a Friday night. First Friday night game of the year. Week number 1 officially in high school football. To give up the middle to Frankham, Jet Frankham tumbles forward on a 1st down. And a 1st and goal for Plainview. Frankham continuing to impose his will. He had the receiving touchdown earlier for 16 yards. He almost had a huge rushing touchdown right there. .335. Ball is at the 6-yard line. 15-yard run from Frankham. Another man in motion. You've seen a lot of that tonight. A fumbled snap. Flowers picks it up, and he's brought down. Keller Stanley will get credit with the sack.
Way to get to Flowers before he can make anything happen off of that fumbled ball there. It's a great play by Keller.
Will, believe it or not, be the 6th play of the drive for Plainview. Ball is on the 13-yard line. A loss of 7 yards. Second and 13. Goal to go for the Plainview Indians. 2 wide out to the left, 1 wide to the right. Flowers, play action. Fake to Frankham. He'll throw to Coursey. It's caught. Dominique Coursey with blockers. Coursey finds the end zone. A touchdown for Plainview.
That was a well-executed play by Plainview. The blocking, the route running, that's great by Plainview. Couldn't have executed it any better.
Tack on 6. It's 19-0. It was a blocked extra point by the Longhorns in that second quarter, and it looks like Scott Pratt, will keep his offense out on the field.
You go for the 2-point, make it a solid 21 instead of 20.
Like I said, offense stays out on the field. Bo Brewster stays to the right hip, now moves to the left to Flowers. Coursey, who scored the touchdown, is lined up at the bottom of your screen, 2 wide to the right. Smith in motion. It's a give to Smith. Snap is fumbled, or the handoff is fumbled. The transition is. We've seen a lot of those tonight, and there's no play. So a failed 2-point conversion, but the Plainview Indians still tack on 6 off a 13-yard receiving touchdown. Cooper Flowers to Dominique Coursey. We'll take a quick break and be back after this 19-0 Plainview.
Stewart's Family Dentistry has been providing dental services to the families in this area for over 30 years. Their full range of services include dental implants, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry, same-day crowns and bridges, orthodontics, preventative, and pediatric dentistry. They'll even file your dental insurance for you. Stewart's Family Dentistry wants to be your family's dentist. Conveniently located in Ardmore, just south of Walmart on Merrick Drive, 223-6720. In Marietta, across from Bank First, 276-3055, and in Medill, across from Amazing Grace Boutique, 795-3360.
6-play, 49-yard drive ending with a 13-yard receiving touchdown. Cooper Flowers with his second passing touchdown of the game. He does have 2 interceptions that occurred in that first half, but it's been the Indians. It's been all Indians, and Plainview is trying to do something, ladies and gentlemen, that has not been done since 2021, and that is a Long Grove and Plainview team that have won consecutive games. Long Grove picked up consecutive wins in 2020 and 2021, if you remember. Plainview won last year's game in a rout, 49-7. But if Plainview wins tonight, they win consecutive games, so that means we went 4 straight years of both teams going back and forth. That's a fumble nearly picked up by the Indians off the kickoff return. That was almost from bad to worse, as it was number 17, Zane Hale, that was returning the kick. And the rain is coming down even harder now. And, well, when it rains, it pours. Sam.
Some would say.
For the Long Grove Longhorns.
Some would
who
say.
Find themselves down 19 and are facing the threat of being down 0-2.
And it looks like the rain is about to cometh.
It'd be the second straight year that the Long Grove Longhorns have dropped their home opener. Quinn in the shotgun position. Hartman's moving, and there's a penalty flag. Jaden Smith at the bottom of your screen is pointing at Noah Farrell. And it's a really tough situation for the Horns because you want to move the ball, you want to throw it down the field. Well, you got wind, you got rain, you got a wet ball, you got, it hadn't been the cleanest night as far as throwing the ball down the field. We've seen some drops tonight. We've seen some balls that are a little underthrown, overthrown, miscommunication. It's really just, it's not the best recipe for trying to make a comeback and trying to move the ball down the field.
Yeah, no, when you're down like this, you're going to want to be passing the ball. And
that's a good play right there. Roberts with a run up the middle.
It's hard to do that when it's
Can you stand the rain by New Edition? Have you heard that song?
I have not. I'm sorry.
That's a good one.
What about Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
That's a good one.
By Clarence Clearwater Band.
That's right. CCR.
CCR.
Not to be confused with Cross Canadian Ragweed, which you just call them Ragweed, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, of course.
That's what I call them too.
Did you attend Turnpike?
I went Friday and Sunday. Friday night and Sunday night. Went 2 nights. It was unbelievable. Roberts on the outside, bouncing to the outside, breaking a couple tackles, and Jaden Smith got a hit.
No, I had
that was friendly fire down there by one of his teammates, and that's not good.
No, sir. No, I had a really good opportunity to go to that, but I ended up getting sick and couldn't go, and was not a happy camper.
So you got sick?
Yeah, no, I had golden ticket and got sick the day before.
Smith will hobble off, and his replacement will be number 6, Brylan Anderson, the sophomore. That's a heated debate now with the Purple Rain and Purple Rain with Future. And I guess it depends on who you ask. I'll go the country route. You like Gary Allen at all? Songs about rain?
That is a good one. Great one. I've got a question for you. We're talking about Future. What's your thoughts on cheesecake?
I love cheesecake. Sensational.
What's your favorite kind of cheesecake?
Sensational cheesecake. I went to, as we see, Scott Pratt was on the other side of the field on Long Grove sideline. But anyway, I had went to Cheesecake Factory for the first time during the summer, and I had a Cinnabon cheesecake.
Yes, sir.
And it was fantastic.
Man.
It was unbelievable.
I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite and copy you off a Futures Flow here, but I'm a traditional cheesecake guy. Cheesecake.
Okay.
Tatum Quinn takes this ball and makes as most as he can to make it just a gain of nothing. Second down.
Brought down by Brylan Anderson, who's the newly instated Indian for Jaden Smith, who hobbled off. Rain continues to come down. I can't think of a lot of rain games that we've done. I can think Kingfisher. I can think of the Kingfisher game. Your sophomore year, that's a pitch and catch to the outside.
If you really want to talk about a rain game, let's talk about us versus Dixon that year.
I remember that game.
That was a mud bowl. That was my that'd be my junior year. That was you were commentating, weren't you? You were. Yeah, you were. You and Steve.
It was the same year as the game that I'm talking about against Kingfisher, where we had icy rain.
Yeah, it sleeted.
It was like 20. It was like 16 degrees outside.
Yeah, I remember the pregame. It was sleeting. It was crazy. It was one of those, you're like, wow, this is a playoff game right here.
20 seconds to play in this third quarter. 19-0 the score.
Roberts motions out.
Done that all game long. He catches it, and he gets popped. I mean, just unbelievable pursuit.
By Jaden Smith. Great play by Jaden Smith.
Unbelievable pursuit. Noah Enriquez was on that stop. And that will be the end of the third quarter. We head into the final frame. We'll be back right after this break. 19-0, all Plainview.
Bank First is deeply rooted in more than 50 communities statewide. Towns bound together tightly by loyalty. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
We begin the fourth. 19-0 Indians after 3 quarters. Second quarter has kind of not been the same story as the first half. Long Grove was finding themselves moving the ball well. It was just unfortunate drives. This is Frankham. This is his first punt return tonight. Cutting it upfield down the sideline, brought down by Scout Quinn. If you're going to give a defensive MVP to somebody, or really just MVP for the Long Grove Longhorns, Scout Quinn, I think, has to be in consideration. 2 interceptions on Flowers is what we forget. All happened in the first half.
No, that sophomore, or no, he's freshman. I apologize. Freshman Scout Quinn has stepped up.
Sophomore?
My apologies.
You got it.
My apologies. Sophomore Scout Quinn has stepped up big time.
Could be in contention for starting quarterback once his older brother graduates, ? I don't know what the backup quarterback situation looks like for the Longhorns. I don't want to speculate either. I don't want to get thrown off the air. He's a freshman?
He is a freshman.
Okay.
He's a freshman.
Yeah, I don't want to get thrown off television for making some speculations. Plainview has the ball at the 49-yard line. Third drive of the half. Clock is at 11:38. Flowers fumbles a snap again.
Immediately brought down by Luke Stinson.
Yeah. If there's one thing, Flowers has a couple interceptions. He has not had his best night tonight. He's also been fumbling the ball on the snap.
Yeah, this rain's really been starting to play a factor for him.
Clock will continue to run. That was a 6-yard loss. I'm getting confirmation that Scout Quinn is now a sophomore.
Either way, Scout Quinn, great player, been playing
So I
great.
was right.
You were right. You were
Okay.
right. I apologize.
I'm just second game, buddy. Second game. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Penalty flag. This ball is caught by Frankham. Frankham, not the tallest guy on the field, but he imposes his will. He's had a couple hits tonight. Of course, he's had his day on offense. As we'll see the call from the official with a false start. Good job by Jeremiah Gray, who's our camera operator tonight.
You know, Andy, talking about cheesecake kind of got me hungry. I'm not going to lie. Oh, we're on.
No, it doesn't sound bad, no. I'm getting text messages. The Rain song by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Still songs about rain. Rain continuing to pour. Sam's been our chief meteorologist all night long. Done a great job checking on the weather. Flowers will roll near side, looking to throw. Chased by Hartman, and he'll roll out of bounds.
Blindside.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, number 28. That is going to be Braden Walden, who's going to had a blindside hit.
Walden knocked down. Was that number 67, Braylon Weaver? That he knocked down late after the play? Not really what you want to do. And Walden, who resembles a build of like Jackson Shirley is who he reminds me of. Tall receiver who can move around a little bit. Former Plainview center. Former football player as well. He'll step out of the game. You also see on that far side, the Plainview trainers are still getting after it. They have like shower towels on the other side. They're wiping the ball off. Multiple penalties for the Indians on this drive. Results in a 3rd down and 23. Ball's at the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 34, actually. 3rd and a country mile. Let's see what they do here. 10-17 left. Flowers will throw. It's caught by Frankham, and he's hit immediately.
Big hit by Abel Shorter right there.
Shorter with another great play on defense. Brings up 4th down and still a lot. And Plainview will punt. First time they punted in this second half. And a turnover on downs on their first drive, and then, of course, a 13-yard touchdown. And now the punt. I Love a Rainy Night by Eddie Rabbit.
Like the Rain by Clint Black.
November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
November Rain by Guns N' Roses, really good one.
Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Haven't heard that one.
Oh, that's a good one. You ever seen
Not a good
Spider-Man 2? You ever seen Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire?
Love a Rainy Night by Eddie Rabbit.
A dribbler punt, squib punt, if you will. Gives the Long Grove Longhorns the ball at the 33-yard line. 4th drive of the game for the Horns. Got to find a way to put some points on the board here. Well, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Big week of college football.
Yep.
For the in-state schools, rather. Oklahoma has a big date with Michigan on their home turf. And then, of course,
OSU at Oregon.
Our friend Aiden Hale is out in Eugene, Oregon right now, covering. Not really covering. He's going to the game, though, watching Oregon and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State opens up as a 27.5-point underdog against Oregon.
Yeah, no, that's
What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say the same thing Coach Gundy said. I hope they'd have a good roster considering they paid $40 million for it.
Quinn pump fake has to get rid of it, and he does.
Magically.
Out of bounds. How did he do that?
I couldn't tell you.
Bringing the pressure was Ethan Eads, number 57, and impressive pursuit by Eads, but I think even more impressive by Quinn that he got that ball off. 27.5-point underdogs, and then, of course, in Norman, you got the Wolverines and the Sooners who are going to meet for the first time ever as regular season opponents.
That'll be an interesting game. Mateer looked really, really, really good for that OU offense.
John Mateer, to me, is like, and I hate the comparison game because a lot of people started comparing him to Baker Mayfield, Cheesecake Factory legend Baker Mayfield. and then he can run, he can throw. Like, Mateer, I think, is interesting because he can run the ball, he can throw it. As here's Roberts on the outside, tries to lower the shoulder, brought down by Smith. Mateer, led Washington State in rushing yards last year as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see. He's going up against a Michigan defense that's really good. What's he going to do against the Michigan defense? Is he going to be able to throw it down the field? Is he going to take what they give him? Are they going to shut the run game down? That's interesting to me.
It's a big question mark. I really don't have the answer for you. I can predict all I want, but I really feel like I'm an OSU fan. I'm biased here, but I really feel like Michigan's going to have an upper hand all night.
Even with a true freshman quarterback making his second start and really rather first start in a true road environment, that's Quinn to Stanley on the outside. Nice catch. And
it will be his first test against an actually decent school.
I will say he looked really good against New Mexico State.
Yes.
And you can argue that it's New Mexico State, but there's a lot of young quarterbacks that are struggling out there in the college game.
100%.
As far as Arch Manning is concerned, he's not young by years in college, but he's young by experience. So, and another thing goes for Zane Flores in Stillwater. A lot of young quarterbacks that need experience. Quinn brought down, finally. Ball is out, and it dribbles out of bounds towards the Long Grove sideline. Two Plainview Indians got to Quinn. First one was number 28, Braden Walden, and the other was Tucker Tillison. .734 left. So do you give the Pokes a chance in Eugene on Saturday?
A chance?
Tomorrow, actually.
I'll give them a very small chance. Love the boys, but
I think their defense
is great.
Defense is going to be a bright spot. It's just all about quarterback play.
Yeah.
Quinn outside again is just gobbled up. Nowhere to go.
Not a good
Waldron was again in the backfield along with number 65, Chase Howe. Brings up third down. So you're picking Oregon by a lot, and you're picking Michigan to win, right?
I'm picking Michigan to win, yes.
Michigan to win.
Yes.
How does Michigan win? After this play, hold on. Quinn. Looking to throw down the field, looking for shorter. There's contact. No flag. Interesting.
Fans are obviously upset.
Jaden Smith was in coverage, and you got to argue, or at least make an argument that
Coach McClanahan is letting the ref know his thoughts on that.
Shorter's path to the ball was altered by Smith due to the hands-on contact. That's about as easy as I can put it. Either way, it's fourth down. 4th and 25, and Lone Grove will punt. Jacob Ellis to punt, Frankham back to receive the punt. He'll run up to the ball, acting like he was going to pick it up, but he'll let it go. And it's fielded by Kason Mansfield, and Plainview will have the ball with 6:22 left. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back right after these words. 19-0 Plainview. All Plainview in the 5 Mile Feud.
Start your project at Lone Grove True Value Hardware. It's more than just a hardware store. Besides quality hardware, Lone Grove True Value carries a full line of building materials and steel for all your projects. And they're the only authorized dealer for Trigger grills in this area. Plus, they have years of experience, so they can answer all your questions or offer helpful advice. Lone Grove True Value Hardware on Case Circle and Lone Grove.
Flowers still in at quarterback for the Plainview Indians. He'll still look to throw. On the screen pass, intercepted. You called it, Sam. That should be an interception.
There we go.
And it is.
Kason Mansfield right there. He had 2 chances last week, hit him right in the chest. Made up for it right there. We're going to put the Longhorns in great field position with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock.
That makes a trifecta of interceptions for Cooper Flowers tonight. He's thrown 2 to Scout Quinn, and he's thrown 1 to Kason Mansfield, who's fired up, trying to get his team rallied here. 6:14 left in the fourth quarter. The comeback may be a little Johnny-come-lately for the Longhorns, but they can still, of course, build momentum.
Do you believe in miracles?
6 minutes left. I mean, you'd have to score right now. You have to have a quick scoring strike here of some sort. .6:14 left in the fourth. Quinn, low snap, controls it, looking to throw over the middle of the field. It's caught by Hartman. Caden Hartman
running
with a tackle, brought down. There's a quick strike right there.
Fans are a little upset. They thought they could get a horse collar right
Brought
there.
down by Gray Barrett. 27 yards. Quinn to Hartman. Senior wide receiver. Make that a 36-yard reception. Second play of the drive, it's Roberts up the middle, and he'll get a couple just to get inside the 10. Get a chant from the Longhorn cheerleaders. We're going to let them take over. Chanting touchdown, Longhorns touchdown. Something they have not done tonight. Ball on the 9. 2nd and 8. Quinn keeping it up the middle. Nice change of direction. Planting that foot in the ground and heading up the middle of the field. Showing elusiveness. Gets near the 5-yard line. Long Grove Longhorns will stay right here next week, Sam. We'll be right in this exact spot for Chandler homecoming in beautiful Long Grove, America. September 12th kickoff slated for 7 o'clock.
Talking to Coach Cole, I believe he said that last year's team against Chandler was very senior heavy, so we may see a brand new team than we saw last year.
Timeout by Coach Cole. He'll use his first of now 2 remaining. We'll take a quick break and be right back after these words from your sponsors.
At Kerr Pumps, innovation powers everything we do. With over 100 patented technologies, precision CNC machining, advanced robotics, and unrivaled customer service, we set the standard in pump technology. From our world-class manufacturing facilities in Sulphur and Marietta, Oklahoma, our people are lowering the cost of hydraulic fracturing and helping make America energy dominant again. If you want to join an innovative team, apply today at KerrPumpsJobs.com. Made in America, made in Oklahoma.
Dive into the new Ultimate Trio at your neighborhood Applebee's of Ardmore, where every combo is a winning play. Pick, mix, and score for just $14.99. Who will you draft? Will it be chicken quesadillas with chipotle lime salsa or boneless wings with house-made ranch or blue cheese? With 10 apps and 10 dips to combine, any combination could be the winning play. The Ultimate Trio, only at your neighborhood Applebee's of Ardmore, 2680 West Broadway. Open till midnight Sunday through Thursday and open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
Horns in the tank formation.
To give up the middle. 3rd down and 4. The line to gain is the 1 yard line, I see. And it will bring up 4th down. Shout out to the chain gang. Have you ever ran the chain gang before?
I have not. I've had multiple opportunities to
especially in a game like this.
No, not like this. It would have been like in a junior high game.
Here we go, 4th down and 2. Quinn under center. Jumbo package. He'll throw. End zone. Touchdown. Longhorns. Keller Stanley. 2nd receiving touchdown of the year. 2nd passing touchdown for Tatum Quinn. And the Longhorns finally get the 0 off the scoreboard. They cut the lead to 13, and Yariel De La Torre will line up to kick the extra point.
Bueno.
And it is
no bueno.
It is no bueno.
Sorry, it looked bueno from here.
19-6 is still your score. 3:51 left. We'll keep it right here. Two-yard passing touchdown, Tatum Quinn to Keller Stanley. Right now, you're really just trying to look for some kind of momentum here.
Yeah, I expect an onside kick here by the Longhorns. I mean, I wouldn't see why they would do anything different. Low down, not a lot left on the clock.
Trophy Auto Glass brings you your sponsors for scoring drives. It was one right there by the Lone Grove Longhorns. Interesting to see what they will do here on the kickoff. I'd imagine they try either a pooch or an onside or
see how
something of sorts.
Bunched up Plainview is right here. They're expecting an onside. The way he's lined up right there, that's what they're going for. They're going to shoot it right at number 1.
De La Torre missed his first extra point attempt, by the way, on that kick right there. Ball's up in the air, and it's fielded nicely by Plainview. Give credit to Brylan Anderson. One bad bounce. One bounce that does not go Plainview's way. That was a really good kick, honestly.
It was a really good kick. Just
good attempt. Just better fielding by
Brylan
Anderson.
Yeah, great hands right there to get on it before it could get catastrophic for Plainview.
Anderson repping the number 6, formerly by Hudson Hobbs, who has given the Longhorns some problems in the past. Of course, you can think about the coaching staffs for both teams, rather. A lot of former players joining coaching staffs.
Yeah.
Especially in high school. You see it a lot. Brock Parham, former starting quarterback for the Plainview Indians, on their coaching staff. Saw him up top while I was setting up the camera.
Really?
Yeah.
The old saying, no place like home.
No place like home, indeed. If you like football, was that ever a consideration for you?
So
was that ever a I'm gonna fix you up there. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Coaching, was that ever a thing for you? Was that ever a thought in the back of your head?
I mean, I thought about it, but I don't really think that'd be something I'd want to do. I thought of, dream job is being like a general manager for NFL team, But
you'd be better than Jerry Jones right now. I'll tell you that much.
Man, I tell you what.
Flowers in motion. It's a give up the middle. Chapa. He's had a 44-yard touchdown run, and then he had a 23-yard not a touchdown run, but a 23-yard run. But other than that, has been kept up by the Longhorn defense.
I got to ask you, as a Cowboys fan, what's your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys? He played last night. Questionable moves in the offseason. What's our thoughts in our head?
Like, my thoughts on the game last night or my thoughts in general?
All of the above.
Well, I can't say that word. I can't say that word either. I can't stand moral victories, especially in sports. But last night, honestly, they had a chance to win, of course, especially at the very end. Hartman brings down Frankham, but
Great
there's a
play
flag.
right there.
There's a flag, however.
Oh.
Look, I can't stand moral victories, but it was a good game by Dallas last night. Of course, you had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Your number one wide receiver and probably top 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, however you want to rank it. Receiver.
Highest paid receiver in the league.
Highest paid receiver in the league. Has a couple drops. On opening night, especially after Philly had Jalen Carter ejected, it wasn't a bad loss. And they better win next week against the Giants. That's all I got to say. But their run defense is questionable.
Yeah.
I'll say defense in general. Offense, I thought, looked great. I think if they need to throw it to Pickens more.
Yes.
The run game, which you can't really account the running game. Now, I'll say it after this play. It's Brewster up the middle, breaking a tackle and pushing the pile forward close to another first down. I don't think they're going to be running the ball a lot next week because I think the Giants' front seven is one of the best in football.
Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kevin Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Oh, and then a newest addition, Abdul Carter. I mean, that D-line is going to be great.
Now, as far as running the ball, I don't think they're going to have much success this year. Losing Jalen Carter helped because their whole game plan changed after that one play. Yeah. It wasn't even a play. He didn't play one play.
No.
That one instance changed their whole game plan. Javonte Williams gets 2 touchdowns. I know a lot of guys who had him on their bench in fantasy.
I played against him. Yeah, no.
Okay. You played against him.
Yeah, I played against
him.
He was on my opponent's bench.
Caden Hartman once again making a play, along with number 65, Ryland Floyd.
I find it funny, you said the run defense did not look great, but I believe that is why Jerry Jones traded away Micah Parsons, because he wanted to help his run defense.
Yeah, I know. 1:41 left in the fourth quarter. Parsons, just a lot of the topic of conversation right now for Parsons is if he's going to play on Sunday.
It is a great question.
Has a back issue.
Yeah, no, that's,
Certainly helped the Detroit Lions, who had an interesting offseason.
Lost a whole bunch of guys.
Losing both coordinators, losing guys offensively and defensively. Another great play. Stanley this time in the backfield. Hartman and Stanley. Hartman, Scout Quinn, you kind of give them co-defensive MVPs for tonight, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I got a favor into the young sophomore, though. He's had a great game so far and really stepped up for this Longhorn defense. Didn't play last week and comes in and does a really, really good job this week. He's going to be a great player for this Longhorn defense, and eventually probably is going to follow his brother's footsteps and eventually probably play quarterback.
Have you watched him throw?
Me personally, no, but I have spoken to some people that are very high on him and say he can throw a pretty dang good ball.
He looks like he's the same size as Tatum.
Yeah.
It's just all about, like Tatum did, put the weight on, which he did. Tatum looks the part, is an athlete, can run, can throw. It's all about if you can get the younger brother kind of in that stage where has the ability to take hits, because we've seen Tatum Quinn tonight lower the shoulder a few times.
Oh, yeah.
We cringe every time we watch him do that because he's such a good player. You need him out on the field.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to see it.
You watch guys in the NFL like Anthony Richardson, who is running around like a yard bird, and he's taking hits. All of a sudden, he missed his whole rookie year, and now, he's benched
behind Daniel Jones.
His play style he hasn't progressed much, but his inability to stay healthy has been the reason why he hasn't been on the field, correct?
Correct. No, I'll be with you. Lamar Jackson's probably, he was there. He was kind of injury riddled there for a while, but he's really started to kind of learn how to play a little bit smarter, we'll say. 4th down.
Flowers will throw on 4th down, and it is dropped. Incomplete for Corsi.
Plainview was going for gold right
Going
there.
for the nail in the coffin, you could say.
You said that before.
Dominique Corsi has dropped it before. I've said that before.
Okay. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, of course. I said that after your game-sealing interception against Sulphur. Was that 3 years ago now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Almost a house call from Sam Harris.
Yeah,
we'll be in Sulphur here.
We will
pretty
be
soon.
Yeah, take a road trip over through the mountains. And
October 10th is the date at Sulphur.
At Sulphur.
That's
a whole new environment over there.
State championship runner-ups, and if you ask, don't really ask. If you just tell.
Half yard away from being champions.
A half yard away, that's right. Quinn will throw over the middle, and it is caught by Hartman. Big hit by Frankham.
That's second play by Hartman where he's made a big gain coming from the fullback spot of all places. Great play by Hartman.
Well, Grove has to hurry here. Mind you, it's a 2-possession game. 13-point ball game.
Hurry up offense.
Quinn with time ticking, clock at 52 seconds. Quinn will throw, sideline, caught. Corralled by Abel Shorter near the 35-yard line.
Tempo, tempo, tempo.
44 seconds. Noah Farrell checks out. Jacob Ellis in number 9. He'll run out to the top of your screen on the right side of the field. Whistle and a stoppage of play. 37 seconds. Long Grove let 7 seconds run off the clock in between plays. It was the catch. It was the first down. By the time they got set, 37 seconds went off the clock. And a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here.
We got to talking about music earlier, Andy. I've got to ask you a question. Who is your GOAT of music?
My GOAT of music?
Greatest of all time,
like
for those who don't know
in
what
all
GOAT
genres?
means. All genres.
Like everything?
Everything.
Well, you put me on the spot, which
know.
is very deserving because I put you on the spot. If I say like these answers, it's going to be a really stupid answer.
I know there's different
okay,
types
so
of music.
are you saying my GOAT because of my favorite artist of all time,
Yes.
or are you saying
Yes.
like just pure talent?
No, your favorite.
Gosh, like off the top of my head, like all genres, without a doubt, I think Prince is up there just as far as voice. I think George Strait is up there, and I think you gotta get into bands. Here's Quinn.
Scrambling for his life,
Yeah.
trying to find somebody.
Trying to turn chicken salad out of you-know-what. Throws it
Oh.
upfield, and it's incomplete. Looking for Caden Hartman, and then Brewster,
Whoa.
and Hartman, and then a shove.
No flag on the play. Surprising.
Cameron Northcutt came in last minute with a shove. 27 seconds left. What were we talking about again?
Favorite
Oh,
artist?
the GOAT of music. Or my favorite artist, Tracy Lawrence.
Tracy Lawrence, okay.
Tracy Lawrence is my favorite artist of all time.
Okay, let's say go to country. Go to country.
GOAT of country, I'd still have to go George.
George.
Keith Whitley.
Keith Whitley.
Keith Whitley's up there.
There you go.
For my own personal opinion, Tracy Lawrence I think is really good.
You got to see him live.
You're going to laugh at me. I think Dwight Yoakam is really good too. I've seen him in person.
It's not an answer you hear very often.
No, it's not, but I've seen him in person, and at 72 years old, the guy can still get around. Quinn being pressured, lofts it to Roberts. Got blockers ahead of him. 20 seconds on the clock. Roberts gets knocked down near the 30-yard line. And I know I'm going to get ridiculed. There's probably people yelling at me right now because I'm missing names. I mean, who are some of your country artists of all time.
Well, of course, you got – I really, truly believe Keith Whitley was cut short. I think if he would have lived longer, I think he would have been the go-to country. George Strait's obviously great.
You talk about unbelievable voices. That's what Keith Whitley had. He's unbelievable.
And the lyrics to his songs, they really just hit home. And then Hank Williams, of course, he's great. All old reliable Hank Williams. Let's see.
Joe Diffie's a good one. Brooks and Dunn, of course. Alan Jackson.
Yes,
I know we're missing names.
I love Alan Jackson. That is, I can't believe
the late great Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, rest in peace.
Shenandoah, Alabama, Travis Tritt. I may sound like I'm going down a list here or anything. Vince Gill, another guy who just has like an unbelievable voice.
Chris Ledoux.
Okay. Did I say Joe Diffie?
You did not say Joe Diffie.
Velma Alma resident. The late great Joe Diffie.
Marty Robbins.
Marty Robbins is good. One of Aiden Hale's favorite artists, Marty Robbins.
I believe we sung a song.
Sam Hale as well.
Sam Hale
likes Marty Robbins. 15 seconds left. Quinn evades pressure, steps up in the pocket, fires to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Good job by Quinn to kind of direct traffic. He was looking for the intended target, Abel Shorter. Earl Thomas Conley is what I'm getting. Doug Stone, I think, is underrated as well.
A young singer that is up and coming that reminds me a lot of Keith Whitley is Zach Top.
Yeah, he's on fire right now.
Yeah.
Of course, got the brand new album that came out last weekend.
Heard one of his songs. I was pleased.
I heard something from him that was really interesting. He prefers your dive bar settings where there's about 200 people in the audience over a sold-out show that like a Morgan Wallen puts on.
Yeah,
that's what he said in an interview. He's I prefer your dive bar settings.
I have to ask you a question. What are your thoughts on Morgan Wallen? There's a lot of mixed opinions about him.
I think
This is a very controversial question. Some people may get
7
offended.
seconds left. This will likely be the last play of the game, barring a quick incompletion. Quinn doesn't have much time, has to evade pressure. Does. Looking to throw, fires to the end zone. He has Farrell, that's the closest receiver, and it's intercepted. An exclamation point. It was Dominique Corsi who had the touchdown catch, and he has the interception. And that is the conclusion of the 47th version of the 5 Mile Feud. A Plainview win, number 1 for Scott Pratt in his Plainview tender at the home of the Indians. They're 1-0. They win 19-6. We'll take a commercial break and get final thoughts right after this.
Hunter SuperTex has been here since 2006 and will be here to provide you excellent service for your home service needs. Who said you need to sweat over getting a new HVAC system? With our special financing options fitting every budget. Oh, and did we mention you won't need to leave your comfy spot? Stay right there on your couch. Free estimates and financing, all from your sofa. Hunter SuperTex, making home comfort a breeze. Go visit huntersupertex.com and schedule online today.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Final thoughts here in Long Grove, Oklahoma. The Indians win in convincing fashion, 19-6. Low-scoring game. Hope you had the under on this game.
Yeah.
Plainview wins. Nice job again by Jeremiah Gray.
Great job.
Doing a fantastic job.
Great job.
As a camera coordinator for the Lone Grove Longhorns. I know it was a tough game for you, young man. What's up, buddy? A tough game for you, young man. Rainy, windy. We'd like to thank you very much for sticking through with us. I'd like to thank everyone for watching from both sides. So we got the McClanahan clan coming through here. Good to see you, boys.
In order, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And our man Jackson McClanahan, who joined us for the Station Spotlight High School interview. Sam, what do the Longhorns have to do better to try to get a win next week?
Man, I haven't watched much on Chandler. I don't know what to expect. They're a team that I wasn't really experienced with. But when it comes to the Longhorns, just judging from this game, the defense side of things, defensive line was very solid. They gave up some chunk plays, but that happens. Sometimes the offense is just better than the defense. That happens. But the secondary really needs to step up, and luckily Scout Quinn, he had a really good game. That's a promising look for the secondary. The offensive side of things, I'll give them a slight handicap with the weather conditions, people dropping the ball, some misplaced balls, but it comes down to the O-line getting their blocks, getting down and dirty, and really just getting up to their guy and making a block, because this game doesn't run fluently without those guys doing their jobs. And that's what really I think was the biggest flaw in this offense today was the poor execution by the O-line. So we're going to need a really big game out of the O-line next week. And I think if we get a really good game out of the O-line, that I think we see a completely different offense out of Lone Grove.
Depending on what the weather's like, we've had some wacky games so far. Of course, last week we had unbelievable weather in Anadarko.
Yeah, wonderful.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think this is a team that we know is getting better, but it's a team that needs a lot of improvement. They have the experience. They run into a tough team in Plainview that will probably likely be playing for a playoff spot this year. And by the way, I want to remind everybody that Chandler has pulled off an upset tonight. They have beaten 5th-ranked Stroud 13-8 and a barn burner. So,
and one thing that these guys really need to remember, and some of the fans as well, is these games do not count.
Right.
Like obviously it counts against their record, sure. They can go 0-3 and still be first seed. These are non-district games. After the third game, they will move into district games, and that's when games start to matter.
After the bye week, when you travel to Seminole, on September 26th, that's when the games matter.
My apologies. Yes, but they need to really realize that. Don't let it just get in their heads. Obviously, losing to Plainview, that's gonna hurt really bad. But they need to let that go, move on to district games because that's where it matters most.
Great job as always, Sam. Thank you so much.
Andy,
Jeremiah, good job. Do you have any
sir.
thoughts?
I just think the O-line could do a better job blocking.
Says O-line. Okay.
O-line.
Offensive line. It's a team sport, team unit, but that's interesting. Offensive line, Quinn had a lot of plays tonight where he had to make something happen due to a collapsing pocket for sure. But yeah, we're going to head out of here. On behalf of Jeremiah, who's done a great job, Sam, who's done a great job.
Andy, thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Pleasure
sir.
to be with you.
Absolutely. It was great. Had a lot of fun. We'll do it again next week. We'll have a bye week, and then we'll begin district play at Seminole. So that wraps it up for me. That wraps it up for Sam, Jeremiah. Thank you all so much for watching on both sides. Both fandoms tuned in tonight. I knew that. So, and we were a big hit with the crowd as well, I hear. That's good. All right. Well, we will catch you guys later for next week against Chandler at home. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsors, and we will catch you